Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Welcome everyone. We are live here from Citrus Heights, California, 20 minutes outside of Sacramento, here at Stone's Gambling Hall. This is Stone's Live. Tonight we have a 1-3 game. There should be lots of action. Alongside me here is Jake Rosensteel.
You're welcome.
I'm Michael Longcar. And Jake, what do you think about tonight's lineup?
It ought to be good. You know, the 1-3 here at Stone's, we talk about it a lot on the stream. It plays really deep compared to some of the other, entry-level smaller stakes games at other card rooms. The 1-3 plays much more like a 2-5 that other players might be used to in their card room. It plays table stakes, so it can get really deep, really quick. And the lineup, tonight should work for us. As long as the deck can cooperate, it ought to be a lot of fun.
Exactly. We're looking forward to the action here tonight. We've got some action players, as they call them, here tonight with us, so it should be a lot of fun.
Dalton's in the game. We can just say it. Dalton's in the game.
Dalton.
We love Dalton. Dalton we saw in a previous stream. I think it was a 5-5 game. It might have been 5-10. 3-bet jam, like the entire, all of it on just a weird sick river bluff. He got it through, and the very next hand, or not the very next hand, but the next time he went for the same move twice and got caught.
It happens sometimes. It happens.
Getting your hand caught in the cookie jar every now and then. That's what poker's about, right?
Yes. No. It happens. Happens to the best of us. All of us have been there. We all know that feeling.
Right?
It's not the best, but Dalton is.
He's a player.
Dalton is a player.
He ships in tournaments lately.
Yes.
I mean, he's a very good player.
Yes, he is what is known, ladies and gentlemen, if you are not super familiar with poker, he is what is known in the poker world as a sicko. In a good way.
Yeah,
in a good way.
It's a compliment.
He can mix it up. So who do we else have here tonight? We have
in seat 1 we have Diamond.
Yes.
I'm not very familiar with Diamond, but great headshot, right?
That is a great picture.
Guy, he knows what's up.
That is a great picture.
In seat 2 we got Duke. Duke's another player. I think I played with Duke quite a bit. I don't know him personally that well. I know how he plays. I don't want to get into that too much, but Duke ought to be fun to watch here. DL, because he likes to keep it that way, in seat 3.
Had the pleasure of playing with him last night here at Stone's.
Right on.
Great guy.
In seat 4, we got Mike W. Mike, he's one of those faces like every poker player. Like I know them.
I've definitely seen him around.
I just don't know where exactly.
Yes.
I just don't know where I know him. And then seat 5, we already gave him enough of an introduction. It's Dalton. What are you going to do? He's on the ante-up cover for winning a Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Dalton was ante-up Player of the Year, had multiple final tables, and just crushed it. Crushed it this year.
Speaking of crushing it, good job, brother man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Job.
Yes, sir.
In seat 6, Donna. Donna's a heartbreaker. Donna has 2 World Series of Poker circuit rings. Speaking of crushing tournaments, Donna knows what's up. She's got position on Dalton, so she's in a really good spot tonight. To her immediate left is Joker. I don't know this guy.
Get it right.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Joker in seat 7. He's got position on Donna and Dalton, so he's in a good spot. But making problems for him is going to be Bulldog on his immediate left. Bulldog is a regular here around NorCal Poker. I kind of know him as a tight, aggressive type player. I would expect him to kind of stick to that tonight. But you never know what happens on the live stream. Some players are going to go one way or the other. They play like super tight. Not worried about I don't want to make a mistake, and you have it on stream. Other people like Dalton be like, watch this, exactly. And take that other gear with it. And then we got Die in seat 9. I don't think we've had Die on the stream before, but welcome to the game.
All right, there you go, folks. There's the full lineup here tonight for this deep stack 1-3 no limit game. And here we are. We join the action.
A paw in the box is always good. So
Dalton scooping a pot. That'll be a common theme for the night here. So
2-time Ante Up main event NorCal Classic champion.
yes,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, it was kind of surreal with just got back into town and.
Yeah, you've been busy, been around. I mean,
I've been around.
The games are better when you're in town. I mean, speaking of players that drive action, I mean, it's Michael Longcar. It's like, Mike's in the game. Let's get it going. I love
Let's get it going.
Speaking of getting it going, we got cards in the air.
Looks like seat number 9 here, Di is putting in a raise. Folds
Graphics
around
up, graphics gone.
Folds around to Duke here in C2, who's contemplating. And it looks like we have a flat call.
And Dalton's never found 2 cards he didn't like. He's gonna come in as well with the ace-10 suited. I think Dalton can go either way there. I think he can 3-bet a little bit on the button there with the ace-10.
Yeah, he could totally go either way there.
I think the suitedness of the hand, he can flatting's fine. Joker thought about it.
All right, so we're going 3 ways to the flop here. Pocket 8s, ace-10, and a mystery hand from Duke there in seat 2. Flop is king-9 jack. Di definitely doesn't like that flop. Dalton flops an inside straight off for a gutter ball non-spade queen that would be the absolute nuts here. And Duke, this is a little fun little start here to the night, little mystery hand to play a little guessing game of what Duke has.
So I know Duke, I mean, he's going to have a pretty wide flatting range pre-flop. I mean, he likes to see a lot of flops. And so, I mean, it's really hard to narrow him down. I mean, on a board like this, he could have the queen 10 here. He can have, king X suited. I mean, there's a lot of hands that he can still have. I mean, players like that have a really wide range pre.
Yes.
I find, it's harder to narrow them down by the time you get down the river.
Absolutely.
They can be a little bit tougher to play against.
I really like this bet here from Dalton. Dalton checked around to Dalton. He bets the button here as both players check to him, showing a little bit of weakness, and he takes the initiative of betting. Turn goes check, check. River here double pairs the board, and Dalton here is hoping that his opponent checks so he can show down his ace high. And Duke shows.
Look at Jack. Is that Jack 10?
We see a 10 in there.
Jack 10.
Jack 10 for 2 pair takes down the pot, and Duke takes down the first pot of the night.
It's good stuff. Now, if you're Dalton there, I mean, on King 9-9 Jack, do you ever think about trying to blow your opponent off of chops? I mean, there's only so many other, ace-X, Broadway draws. I mean, he could have there. Mostly, if he check calls the flop, it's mostly what he should have. If you're trying to get him off of, ace high, I guess only other hand would be ace queen, but it's hard to have him there. But,
Yeah.
I mean, do you ever think about trying to get an opponent off a chop there or off a jack?
I mean, not on the river. I honestly think Dalton played the hand really great. He could fire a second bullet there on the turn and tries to represent a king. And
Once your opponent check
off a
calls the
jack.
turn, though, it pretty much got to hope it goes check river.
Exactly. Yeah, I really like how Dalton played the hand.
And I mean, once it goes check river, you should be good with some frequency, right?
Exactly. So we got a raise here from Diamond in seat 1. A raise to $15 pre-flop with pocket 8s.
Bulldog, ace queen suited.
Definitely defending here from the big blind for 15, and we're gonna go heads up to the flop here. Ace 5-10, great flop for Bulldog here. Interesting to see if Diamond's gonna check back, or yes, he does in fact check back. Most likely this will be the end of the hand right here with a bet from Bulldog, and Diamond definitely doesn't like this. And on to hand number 3. So how have you been? It's been a little while.
I've been good, man. Yeah, no. You've been out of town for a while. You've been coaching, you've been playing, you've been partying. You've been having a great time.
It's the probably the most entertaining, or not the most entertaining. One of the most interesting things to me is I get so many people say like, "Oh, you party so much." I see this and that, and I feel like I maybe post 5% of the 5 or 6 nights a week
of the
partying. What's up? So it's pretty funny how like I said, I just feel like I don't post really. Definitely not double digits of percentage of the stuff that I do as far as my craziness, but yeah, it's been a fun summer. Was out in Washington D.C. enjoying the poker scene out there, Maryland Live.
Yeah,
got to check out Maryland Live for the first time. It's definitely, as far as I can tell, the best cash game in the country as far as amount of tables, high stakes. It's a great spot. It's a great spot. It's definitely a great spot.
I've been on the local grind, which is, I mean, up here in California, it's pretty good here, but.
And we are back to the action here. Looks like we have a...
Looks like a limp pot, and then Donna open up the cutoff here. Yeah, Donna makes it 13 to go with the ace of clubs.
Yep, ace of clubs from the cutoff.
Duke limped in pocket jacks. Interesting.
And just called, playing very conservative on the spot.
Bulldog, who defended the small blind, he comes along with a king jack of hearts. Flop king 6 deuce, 2 clubs. Donna's got the nut flush draw. Bulldog's got top pair. Pretty easy check call spot for Bulldog. And Duke, who took an odd line here with his jacks.
And he lost the minimum there. Oh, wow. That's got to put a little sting to...
now Bulldog makes top 2. Donna picks up an inside straight draw, and there's the club.
And this is just, wow, look at this board. Bulldog turns top 2. Donna is the absolute nuts. This will be interesting to see if Bulldog's going to be able to get away here from the spot. This is a tough spot because Donna's a little short stacked here. So it's not going to be a whole lot more for him to call here. This is going to be a very tough fold. This is a very tough spot.
I think if you're Bulldog, you just kind of have to call. A lot of big party. Okay, she did jam. Okay.
Yeah, and it looks like it's ballpark $60 more or so here. And all in for 161. Excuse me.
I mean, as the original aggressor, Bulldog, I think if she had the nut flush draw, wouldn't with her effective stack size, would she not just like jam the turn?
Yeah, it's unfortunate there. Bulldog was obviously hoping for the bet by Donna there on the turn, and he definitely does not like the shove here on the river.
The problem is with that sizing, though. I mean, how many bluffs does she really have with that sizing? I mean, with that stack size, he leads for, what was the lead there?
Looks like 45 there.
And she jams 161. I mean, she's not generally going to have a lot of fold equity there. So should have mostly value type hands.
Yeah.
I mean, your Bulldog there's in the top 2, and he knows it. I mean, he's mulling it over. He hates it.
We all know though. We've all been in the spot. We've turned top 2. You basically turn the nuts. You're super excited for your opponent to bet the turn, and obviously the worst possible outcome here. The river is the 4 of clubs, and credit to Bulldog here for getting away from top 2 because I think we can all say we've all made that call once or twice or 10 or 100 or 1,000 times there we were wrong, and so great play there by Bulldog.
So if you're Bulldog though, considering that, I mean, a club came up, I mean, and your opponent checked back the turn, do you ever consider just bluff catching there, maybe like checking river and leader? Because if your opponent checks back the turn, when are really expecting to get called by? I mean, they can have some other value hands that are playing pot control on the turn. They maybe get value from you leading 45 there on the river. But do you ever think that maybe if your opponent's got air, that they might just rep the club and like bluff catch instead?
You know, it's easy for us to sit here in the booth and we see the cards and we talk about it this way, and yeah, absolutely. You know, it's totally a viable option there to take the conservative route, check, and kind of size up your opponent and check call most rivers there. Even with the club, maybe. You know, especially if it's a $50 bet, which is about the same amount that he decided to bet out anyways. It's totally viable to just check call there.
Yeah.
You know, the other options there is what are the chances your opponent has a club? Go for value on the river, hopefully get paid off, and do the bet fold spot on the river where you really can't be beating anything except for a bluff, and he played the hand great.
And with that size, your opponent's going to have had very, very few bluffs.
Absolutely.
So here we go. Joker in the cutoff. He makes it 16 to go with the ace-queen suited. Bulldog's going to call on the button with pocket 5s.
Now Duke limped in last hand with pocket jacks and limp called pre-flop.
And we see
the limp call again with kings. Wow.
Because what I'm talking about, like, players that have, that's a lot of flop.
Wow.
Top set for Duke. Joker's got second pair and a backdoor diamond draw.
Now we'll see if Duke continues his trend here of playing a very trappy, conservative style here and disguising his hand strength, and hopefully for him with the medium strong strength there of Joker's hand, he does flat call to get this pot a little bit bigger on later streets. But nope, he looks like we're going for the check raise here. Duke check raises here with top set. Joker definitely doesn't like that. Puts him in a little difficult spot here. But he has to figure. He does have the backdoor diamond draw. He has to figure most of the time here an ace or a queen on the turn will be good, and he makes the call. And we're going for the turn, and the turn here is going to slow down. Maybe both players here. Puts a 4 card straight on board. Both players really don't like that turn. Pocket kings there with Duke really hates that turn, and we'll see if Joker here will get a little creative and find a little way to take this hand down here with a sizable bet. No, decides to check back. And unless we see a little creativeness here from Joker on the river. Duke is going to win this hand here with top set, and he does.
Check, check. I feel that...
Yeah, wow, and you saw the expression there from Joker. I don't think really anyone can put Duke on pocket kings right there if you're sitting at the table watching the action.
So, I feel like the spot that if Joker was going to take the pot away, it obviously would have been the turn. It's such a good board. I mean, there's a lot of hints that you're just not folding to a check raise on the flop. I mean, and Duke is check raising King Jack, Queen Jack, or even if he flopped it with the Jack 10. Is he really checking the card? Just because it's going to check back by something like marginal, like little value hands like Ace Queen, Ace King, are just going to check back that turn so many times to try to get the showdown.
Yes.
So I mean, those players are rare. And the double check raise in no limit is so rare. And after a player check raises the flop, they're generally always leading the turn, whether they're bluffing or value betting, or whatever. It's just a weird move. So once Duke then checks that 10 coming off on the turn, you gotta. I mean, if you're Joker, you gotta think, okay, he hates that card.
It's definitely a card
I hate that card.
It would make me want to fire at it just because of the sign of weakness there. And obviously, as we know, unless it was a pretty good sized bet, Duke most likely would go to the river to pair the board with the stack.
Yeah, I mean, it probably wouldn't have worked, but I mean, when that 10 comes off and after my opponent checks that card, I'm really thinking about just going bet and trying to get him off.
And it definitely would have worked in that spot there, unless Duke pulled out some magic.
Some players get sticky.
Yes. Absolutely.
And another part of it, like, if you know your opponent's hands, if his check raise and range is like always like 2-pair plus, and he doesn't ever do with any kind of 1-pair straight draw combos, and his fold button completely broken, then you're just setting money on fire.
Yes,
there's no point in doing it.
And here we come back here to this current hand here. Very interesting hand. Dalton opens the action. Bulldog decides to flat call with the queens. Diamond 3 bets to $46 pre-flop, and Bulldog now getting a little tricky here with pocket queens with the better hand. This will be a very interesting flop here if it comes a low flop, but the ace, both players really hate this flop.
Especially in a 3-bet pot.
Diamond checks. See, Bulldog checks as well. To the turn. The 9 of hearts. Very interesting turn card here. Bulldog turns a backdoor flush draw. Both players here now have to think their hand is good. They've both rivered 2-pair with the aces up. They both got to feel pretty confident here that the other player doesn't have an ace. Bulldog's going to go for value here. Most likely? No, wow. Go for it, the little check the whole way. And Bulldog's gonna scoop the pot with pocket queens.
So yeah, both players picked up a little equity there on the turn. Bulldog picked up the flush draw, Diamond picked up the opening to straight draw. But at least something I kind of alluded to earlier, players have a wide flatting range pre-flop. Sometimes they're really hard to narrow down by the river. Other times players have really strong flatting range pre-flop. Like you saw Duke flat kings, you just saw Bulldog flat queens. Same when you're thinking through hands. Okay, well he can't have this because he didn't 3-bet, he didn't this. And these players though, you have to keep all those hands in their range. Once again, it makes it harder and harder to narrow an opponent's range down by the river to the spot where now thin value bets kind of become really marginal because they can still have queens. Can we value bet jacks there? Can we value bet tens there? No, because they can still have kings or queens, and it kind of convolutes your thinking a little bit.
Absolutely. Back to the action here. We have a raise to $11 pre-flop. Dalton, pocket tens. Donna to his immediate left, flat calls with the king-queen offsuit. And now Bulldog getting a little creative here with the jack-4 offsuit. Wants to go to a flop and try and flop a monster here. Diamond in the small blind decides to go to the flop here with, if there is such a thing, my lucky hand, 6-8 suited, the giant killer as I call it.
This is what we're talking about. This is why poker's better when Mike's in town. 6-8.
Oh, look at that flop for 6-8 of hearts. One time. Oh, that's why I love it so much.
And now we just get the money in, right? How do we get the money in?
And this will be really interesting to see how what looks like most likely Dalton and Diamond, who will be the 2 players that really like this flop, will play these hands out. Dalton's got to be obviously weary of the 2 pairs straight flush as we see possibilities here. Donna's not liking that flop with the king-queen. She gets away. And Bulldog decides to fold his gutter ball.
And we raise.
And now Diamond's sitting here and you're thinking, now, do I flat call or do I raise? What do you think about the spot here?
I think you got to raise. So you got 450 back. I think you can make it, 100 and change here. trying to maximize your full equity and just bet this thing through.
And although we did see in the pocket, I was going to say, we just saw him play the pocket tens very conservatively.
And he flats.
And he decides to take the safe route here, flat call, and we are going to a turn. And the turn is the gin card for Diamond. Dalton hates that turn. Definitely doesn't. Although he's not necessarily sure he's behind here now, you know? This is one of those spots where you kind of have to feel it out, size up your opponent, and measure up. Did he just turn me with a flush, or does he have a hand like, I'm trying to think of a hand with a big heart with one pair, maybe.
There's like, I mean, yeah, like pairs with the heart, so you can have like.
No matter what, here you just hate the spot.
Ace queen, ace jack with the ace, or with a big heart.
No matter what, Dalton, you gotta hate the spot here, especially the big bet.
You can have pairs with a heart, and so that's another reason why I'm kind of, you know, I'm much more in favor of raising the flop. One, because we have no showdown value with all the equity in the world, but two, it's when, namely if a heart comes off, it's really going to kill our action unless our opponent has one of the few hands that can continue, like a big pair with a heart or ace X with the ace of hearts. It's going to really be hard to get paid off when our hand gets there, especially if it's a heart.
Absolutely.
And we have 8 high, so it's, you know, let's raise the flop. And if our opponent ever folds, you know, if he's ever just c-betting ace jack there and we get him to fold, then we just print money.
Yes, and you know that the hand would have been very interesting if we would have seen a raise from Diamond there at 6-8 hearts. It would have been interesting to see the sizing, what Dalton's thinking, what Dalton does. But you know, Dalton played the hand great. He raised with the best hand pre-flop with pocket tens, bet the flop with technically the best hand with pocket tens again, and got away when he's drawing dead. So
I'm just saying, if my opponent shows me the 6-8 of hearts, I'm just like, cool. I'm showing him tens, I'm folding. Like,
absolutely.
What's up in the chat? Poker Pro Eric, PL202-678, the terrible stream. What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Welcome to the game.
Welcome to the chat.
The 1-3 it's a unique game here. It can play big. It can play, I mean, irrational to, you know, from an outsider looking in. But it can be such a smash up, like a lot of fun. And we all watched the Veronica and Friends game, which plays ridiculously deep and ridiculously drunk.
Yes, and speaking of deep and deep games, that is why, in my honest opinion, Stone's Gambling Hall here, just outside of Sacramento, California, is the, and I mean this, I'm not just saying this because I'm impartial to Stone's, I'm saying that Stone's Gambling Hall is the best poker room in the entire state of California. I've been saying Northern California for a while, easily, but you know, as these games get going on throughout the night every night, the 1-3 and the 2-5, the 1-3 starts off every night as a $500 max buy-in when a new table starts. The 2-5 starts off as $1,000, and both games are table max buy-ins. So you know, if the very first hand of the night at a 2-5 game, someone doubles up to 2,000, and everyone at the table now can buy up to 2,000. So the games get really deep at the end of the night. Lots of creative play going on.
Oh yeah.
Lots of big bluffs. Lots of really big. You know, we've seen plenty of 5-digit pots at the 1-3 games here, even some nights. These games get really big, and it's great. It's great for the players. It's great for you know, not having to just play 100 big blind games. That's why Stone's on top of the food, the atmosphere,
service,
the family environment we have here at Stone's Gambling Hall. This is the premier spot. If you're ever here in Northern California, you got to come check out Stone's Gambling Hall.
So Donna, I think she's got the straddle on this hand. She straddles for 7. Bulldog is going to limp in the ace-7. Die, he makes it 23 to go with pocket tens. And Jack 7-7. Donna, who did not defend the straddle. Bulldog, who did not limp in, or who limped in ace-7 and then folded. Would have flopped trip 7s.
Yeah, so die 3 bets here. And it's checked to him with pocket 6s. And now, if you're die here, you got 2 simple options. You can check back for a little pot control, or fire with the pocket 10s and kind of hope to just take it down and end the hand right here. And interesting flat call here from Mike W. Not convinced his opponent has him beat here with the flopped 2 pair with the pocket 6s. The turn, check, check. Let's go to the river here. And it's the 3 of hearts. And now Mike is hoping his opponent checks back the river here and he can show down his 2 pair as the winning hand.
Mike's got a lot of Jack X type hands in his range, so I expect Die to check back. It's really hard to go for pin value on this board. I mean,
yep, can't blame either player there for checking turn and checking river, and Die will scoop the pot with pocket 10s. Now, have you played with any of these players here at the table?
I think I played with all of them. I mean, that's the part. It's sad part is like I know I played with them. I know I played with I mean, a couple of them, particularly, but like when and where and for how much, and was it a big buy-in tournament event, or were we grinding some cash one day? It's all starting to get kind of blurry now. Everything's kind of running together. I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir here. I mean,
it all it definitely too many times you play so many players and so many tables and so many games. It's I've seen you before, maybe out of nowhere, somewhere. Back to the action here.
707, welcome to the game, welcome to the chat. Sly Cry, all the cool kids.
Yes, thank you for joining us, everyone tonight in the chat box. We appreciate the
love and attention.
Conversation pieces, the love and attention, yes, always. And back to the action here.
So DL makes it 16 to go with pocket kings here. We haven't seen him play a lot of hands yet. I'm curious to see how much action he's really going to get here.
Donna's going to defend from the big blind with King-Jack offsuit, and looks like we're probably going to go heads up.
Straddle pot. Okay, so
it was a straddle pot. Yep, Joker was the straddle there, so we're going to go heads up to the flop, and hopefully Donna, for her sake, does not flop a king-high flop here. Oh, wow. Here we go. This is the perfect flop for these two hands to get into a big pot possibly here. Donna flops the King-Jack offsuit, which is optimally really one of the best flops you can see here. And this is interesting here. She decides to lead out. She's betting here.
Wow.
And this now makes his hand really interesting. She bets 22 into 39, a little more than half pot. And DL here just deciding to flat call, and Donna was hoping to see the 9 of hearts there on the turn, but it is the 8 of hearts, and looks like she's going to continue here and try and tell the story that she has a big hand, but little does she know, DL playing his kings really sneaky here.
I mean, the Jack 9's the only thing that got there. Donna's blocking a Jack, but if you're DL, and that's the only hand I think you really have to worry about, I would expect Donna to try to check raise all her 2-pair plus hands. So your kings really ought to be way far out in front here. And he's going to go ahead and he's going to raise for value. I like it.
So Donna bets a turn for 38, and looks like DL cuts out a raise to just less than $195. And now Donna, faced with the decision, does she want to go to the river to try and peel the 9 or the ace for 57 more? It's definitely an uncomfortable spot when you're in this position. And looks like Donna's a little on the shorter stack here, so this is
she's getting about the right price though. She's getting laid about 4 to 1. You can see her equity there. She's got about 23% now. I mean, she's got to figure she's somewhere in that range. She knows she's not ahead right now. The king, she got to figure at this point, after your opponent flats and then raises the turn, that your king's probably no good. So you're drawn to only the ace or the 9. In which case, you're going to be about 25% equity, and you're getting about 4 to 1.
And odds. The only problem for her is she does not have $300, $400, $500 behind. She's a little on the short stack, so this is going to cost a lot of her stack here.
It's about an even money call, though. And as the space, even if no more money goes in the pot, and if your opponent raises the turn, you got to think he'll at least call off what's left of your stack. I think she didn't jam, did she?
I thought she might have said it.
No, she's going to make the call.
And she just decides to flat call, and we're going to go to the river. Donna's praying for the 9 of the ace. Oh, it's not there.
And now we check fold.
And now we're going to most likely see a check fold here, and DL is going for the kill, or almost the kill here, trying to get it all. And the hand is going to be done here. And DL takes down the pot with pocket kings.
So I'm glad that DL bet there. I mean, he bet the 1 pair hand. You've seen the chat if you're playing like limit. That's a very popular move, and we see it in no limit as well, where a player will raise the turn in position to just get to showdown, so that way they can just check back on the river and get the showdown. So I mean, I'm glad we didn't see that. I'm glad that DL was observant enough to know that his kings were way good there and to bet for value. But I mean, that's a play that you see a lot from players where they'll have some sort of marginal hand that they think is best, and they want to, call a big bet on the river, so they'll make a small raise on the turn, hoping that they get checked to, so they can check back. But I like it. He bet. We bet for value.
Yes. Agreed. All of it. Back to the action now. Bulldog under the gun, limping in with the ace-8 offsuit. And it's been a very sneaky, trappy game so far. A lot of players, you know, as last hand there, we saw DL and C3 flat calling the flop with the pocket kings, not putting in the raise. We've seen Duke slow playing jacks and kings about as much as he possibly can. So it'll be interesting to see if this trend continues or if the game opens up a little bit. Flop queen jack 10 here, 2 clubs. DL flops a flush draw. Donna with bottom 2. And DL's gonna lead here with the flush draw. Now Donna's here in a spot here.
She doesn't got a whole lot back.
She doesn't have a whole lot back. You gotta feel pretty good about your hand, but you also don't want to go broke. There's a lot of hands that are beating you here. She decides to flat call the $12. And Bulldog with an up and down gutter ball straight draw decides to call with the ace-8 offsuit, and we're going 3 ways to the turn. DL decides to slow down here and check his flush draw. And Donna's got to feel obviously very confident now that her jack 10 is good with the action. With everyone checking the turn, and puts in a little value bet here on the river. Looks like she's betting right about half pot. 25 or so there into 51. 30 into 51. And she will win the hand.
Jake, want to answer your question? Yes, in the previous hand, Donna did lead turn, and then he raised in position with the overpair.
Yes.
So we talk about like the way the strings or the way this game's playing right now. I mean, kind of trappy, kind of. I mean, well, kind of passive, you might say. So in these games, I would expect a player like Dalton, namely, to really maybe try to like jump up and try to run the game over to a degree. But on the other end, as you mentioned, it's playing trappy as well.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
that
you got to walk that fine line here, you know, and it's. Yeah, no. Part of you is saying, "Oh, this game is really tight, and I'm gonna
abuse it,
get this game going, and take advantage of that." And the other side of you is also saying, "Well, at the same time," and little does Dalton know how trappy it really has been. A couple of games have dropped in Showdown, but yeah. So this will be interesting to see here if Dalton or another player here kind of feels that this game is a little tight and decides to get this action going, as we say.
You got Mike W now. He's going to raise it up, make it 11 to go, it looks like. I'm sorry, that's DL makes it 11 to go with pocket 9s. Mike W is going to flat the ace-jack, and Dalton's going to wake up right behind them with ace-king.
And we're definitely going to see a 3-bet here from Dalton in position against the pre-flop raiser with ace-king suited. Looks like he's raising to about 41, if my eye is correct. Or is that 31? 3-bet to 31. Joker looking down at the suited ace. Oh, the 6-8. Did he just fold 6-8?
He folded 6-8.
What is going on? Does he not know? Does he not know about the 6-8? Now DL here with the pocket 9s.
We're never folding.
And this is just a great spot to go to a flop for a little set mining opportunity. DL agrees and calls. And oh, Mike W now
It's in the back raise.
Decides to put in a raise, and this is a beautiful spot now for Dalton. He now has the option to
reopen the action
here and either push out DL, and you know there is the option of flat call here, but most likely we'll see a repop here. I'm guessing from Dalton to isolate, push out the dead money. But you know, flat calling here is an option. Flat calling here is an option.
I would opt more to lean more towards raising, just because I mean, if you flat here and you DL flats as well, then if an ace or king flops, how much more money are we really getting from DL if we're good?
Absolutely.
If we can ever get him to fold a pair, once again, it's free money. Plus we have, you know, his, what is it, a $6 or $31 overlay from his call, and there's the re-raise.
And there's the repop, and most likely we're gonna see
rip it.
DL.
He should fold here, right?
Most likely we'll see DL 5-bet shove.
5-bet shove. DL should be folding. He does.
He's out of there. So Dalton all in pre-flop here with the ace-king suited up against Mike's ace-jack offsuit. To the flop we go. And the flop is queen, queen, 3. Mike now hoping for a chop with a 3 or 4 on the river. And there it is.
Chop, chop.
The chop. And Dalton is not going to like this, but played the hand to a T.
Hey-ya. So you see the question in the chat, what says stack size? You can look it on the screen now where stack sizes are. I think with those stack sizes, I think Dalton played the hand perfectly.
Yes.
Get in the 4-bet, rep the tippy top of our range, get the dead money.
And Veronica and friends. Game coming up here.
That's a mess, Jesus.
It's going to be a fun night.
The last Veronica and friends, Bart Hansen from Crush Life Poker came up for the game, and I want to say Bart beat up the 1-3 for somewhere around like 3 to 4K.
Wow. Yeah, no,
People talk about the 1-3 here at Stones, and there's a perfect example of like how like off the chain that game can get.
Yes, no, I had the pleasure of playing with Bart one time here on the live stream. Very good, very nice guy.
Yeah.
Very world-class player, and definitely knows how to mix it up. Back to the action here. Got a little table talk going on. Action here on Duke in the small blind with Queen 10 offsuit, option to call. Decides to limp in. And Dalton, true to form, raising with the ace 2 of clubs from the hijack to what looks like 16.
Donna, don't throw away the 9-7. Oh, she's not that deep. Okay. All right.
Fold it around to Duke here. And I'm guessing we're going to see a fold here as he seems to be on the little conservative side here. A lot of table talk going on, a lot of laughter. Seems like everyone's having a good time.
That's something I like about these games. They seem to be more social.
Yeah.
I mean, people, I saw something on Twitter the other day where someone was complaining about how antisocial No Limit Hold'em's got, and I suggest we'll start playing like 4-card games or mixed games, sort of like that. But it's funny, I mean, here on these tables, these games, it still can be pretty social. It's a fun time.
Yes.
It helps that they're all drinking wine.
Yes, and wine always does the trick. I've always viewed cash games as a lot more of a social, fun, drinking, thing compared to tournaments for the most part, and looks like everyone's enjoying themselves here tonight here at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Which is funny because like tournament play to me is still fun. I mean, like cash game, it's a business, it's kind of a grind. But they said it's kind of because there's no the clock isn't running and there's no tearing up. So I mean, the atmosphere can be a little bit more social. But tournament poker itself and the way it plays out is more fun to me still. So
absolutely, that is interesting. Yeah, no, I totally agree. In my personal opinion, I would say tournaments are a lot more fun than cash games because you're always playing for 100 times your buy-in or whatever the amount is, whereas in a cash game you're playing for double your buy-in.
And cash game, with one long cash game, that can get kind of kind of grindy.
Yes. But that is interesting.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It's weird, right?
Because cash games, in some ways, is a lot more fun.
Yeah,
as far as the social,
it's social aspect.
That's interesting.
But the game itself is kind of monotonous.
Yeah.
Versus like tournaments, or people will be very stoic, very not very social at tables. But there's so much more fun to play. So people are just gonna be like dying on the inside, explode with happiness and joy in tournaments. But they just don't. We just all sit around and stare at each other, hate each other.
Back to the action here. We've got a few limpers, and looks like Bulldog is going to put a stiff raise here to 35 with the 6-2 of hearts. Shout out to Folsom Lake Bowl. That is the Lake Bowl nuts around here. Different card room here in Sacramento. That is the Lake Bowl nuts, ladies and gentlemen. 6-2 of hearts. And this will be interesting here now. Duke, who has limp called jacks, limp called kings, and limp folds. Oh, excuse me, he was in the blind there.
Okay.
He was in the blind. He's out of position. It's a big, out of nowhere raise. Can't really blame him for folding the nines there.
I can blame him. Screw that. What are we doing? We're folding nines now? My God. Part of we talked about Donna or Dalton, perhaps being perceptive and realizing how the team's playing and to trying to run over it. Bulldog, another one of those players, we talked about how long he's been playing cash games up here in Northern California. All those limpers around, there's a lot of free money out there. Who cares what your hand is? 6 deuce, good enough. Let's just make a egregious open.
And I like Bulldog at least attempting to get this game out of the muck here and get the action going. Did he show that? Did we see that there?
No, we did not, but
did not show
Diamond's
it.
got aces on the button. Here we go.
Aces on the button.
And some blind versus button violence.
The hand that we all dream to see as we look down at our whole cards every hand. And Diamond is raising here to what looks like $15 on the button.
And he will get no love.
And what we all hope does not happen. No action on the aces. Diamond takes it down. Here's the stack sizes here.
You know, it cracks when you're playing a table, and you know, you'll open up aces, or a player will open up aces, and it'll fold around, and they'll be all distraught, you know, or like, didn't get any action on their aces. But then on the other, they have no problem complaining when the aces get cracked, though, either. You know, and like, oh my god, you called me with what? And you're like, make up your mind. Do we want action? Do we not want action? I mean, I don't want action. I mean, it's hard to crack aces sometimes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is that Angry Pollock in the house?
Angry Pollock, Veronica Brill.
Angry Pollock. Sup, my people. Sup, girl? Glad you're joining us tonight.
And she says voice to text is not being used tonight, so she will not make a little slip and get banned in the chat like she did last time. That was wonderful.
And back to the action here. Donna decides to raise it up to $13 with the 9-10 offsuit. Mike W defends with the Queen Jack offsuit and flops top pair. And he is going to ship all in here for $96 into 40. Looks like this will be the end of the hand here. Ah, Vivian, I didn't see you up there. You sexy beast, you.
Vivian Almighty.
Thank you very much. Glad you're joining us here tonight. See you soon out in Washington, D.C. Definitely going to get back out there soon for some poker playing and fun on the East Coast. I have a question here in the chat. Given the hand shuffling, how many hands are being dealt per hour on average? And I think that
20 to 30, right? Somewhere in that window?
I think, yeah, somewhere around 30.
Yeah.
Oh, message deleted. Philip. Hot job, hot job, hot job. I see you. I saw that. I saw it. Glad you're joining us tonight, Phil. A friend of mine that I was staying with out in Washington, D.C. in the chat.
So Donna's got the straddle on here, and Bulldog's in limping king-queen suited. Jesus. We're going to raise the 35 with the 6 deuce.
Yeah, very,
King-queen suited.
yeah.
We're going to limp, over limp.
Very, very interesting poker action here tonight.
Now, I guess it'd be one thing if it was Dalton's button and we were expecting him to abuse the button, but he's in the blind. I wouldn't expect him to get really out of line here, out of position. So I wouldn't be trying to like limp strong hands here. But as it is, Bulldog goes ahead and he limps a king-queen. Duke also limps 10s. God, this one players limping such strong hands.
Yeah, this is definitely a very,
Donna.
very tight game here to
Free
start.
money out there.
She's smiling. She wanted to do it. She wanted to pop it with the 7 deuce offsuit so badly. I know she did. She decided to refrain. And
big flop for Bulldog.
Massive flop for Bulldog. Really the only player here that loves this flop, and he's smashed it. And Dalton with top pair. And wow, Bulldog checks. And looks like we're gonna see a free turn here. The 5 of hearts. Now, this changes everything. Dalton now feels very comfortable with his aces and 5s with king kicker. Is best or tied for best here as the best hand. And Bulldog staying in there with the king queen of clubs for $16. And looks like we're gonna go heads up to the river unless DL decides to try and get there with the deuce. No. Heads up to the river. And are we gonna see a club? No, we're not. Dalton now checking, and oh, here we go. Here we go. A little creativeness here. Bulldog thinking about betting, trying to put off Dalton off his hand, and
snap call.
Most likely this is not going to work.
So Dalton's gonna feel maybe that Bulldog called, maybe if he might have picked up a flush draw on the turn, maybe he would come along with like, now he's got busted hearts and has to bet to try to win.
And Dalton wins the hand.
Easy money.
Here's our updated chip counts.
God, if I'm Bulldog there, I'm opening, I'm betting, I'm raising.
The hand could have gone a completely different way.
Yeah.
Yep. Action on Joker under the gun, decides to lay down the 3 high. Bulldog limping in with the 6-7 suited. Die now here in the seat number 9.
Makes it 11 to go with a Jack 10 of hearts.
Makes it 11 with the Jack 10 suited. Diamond is immediately left here at Jacks. Debating whether to flat call or re-raise here. Looks like he's gonna take the conservative route again.
Conservative route.
Now, most likely we're gonna go 5-6 ways of the flop with the hands here we see on screen.
DL calls to the ace-8. I prefer to 3-bet or fold that hand. Or fold. Or fold.
Looks like Donna's coming along here with the 7-8 offsuit. Dalton gets in there with pocket 8s. And
6 ways.
Bulldog joins as well for $8 with 6-7 suited. 6 ways to the flop. 3 Jack 9. Oof. Top pair for Die. He's the pre-flop raiser. Has to feel pretty confident about his hand here. And little does he know, he is drawing semi-dead to a backdoor straight with top pair against Diamond's top set. Diamond is just loving this multi-way to the flop, straight draw, flush draw, top set. You've got the nuts. No one can really put you on here by flat calling pre-flop. And gotta love this, the pre-flop raiser betting into you. Now,
6 ways, you gotta, someone's got to have some sort of a draw here.
Yes.
That can continue, so you got to raise, right?
Diamond looks like cutting out a raise here. Looks like 60, 65 is the raise. $60 is the raise. Now this is gonna be one of those spots here for Die where you've got top pair, medium kicker. You definitely don't like this spot. You feel this raise to 60 here is rather strong. Trying to get you to continue in the hand, but you flop top pair, you were the pre-flop raiser. This is not, and he gets away. Die played that hand, textbook, raise pre-flop, bet top pair, get away when you're drawing somebody dead.
Easy money. Easy game.
Easy game. For the win. For the win.
Interesting dynamics so far at the table.
Yes, I was just thinking that. This has been a unique game here. This is
Okay, so let me ask you this. So let's say we've been watching the game for a while. So let's say like Michael Uncar kick rocks, you're out of the booth, and then let's say you were to go jump into this game right now.
Can I?
What would be?
Can we make this 10-handed?
Right.
Hey, guys, can we make this game 10-handed real quick?
What would be your approach? I mean, how would you? I mean, sit down and adjust to a game where players are playing trappy, where they have very wide pre-flop flatting ranges.
Well, poker is all about adapting, and I definitely would get this game going here. Everyone is playing tight. Everyone is not wanting to three betting hands. So you know,
everyone wants to put a little money in pre. They want to put a little money in pre a lot, very frequently.
Yes.
But no one wants to, really just pile it all in. I'm with you. I would try to.
And yeah, definitely when I find myself in a game like this, I definitely find myself as the action starter, the one that gets it going.
Poker's better when Mike's in town.
Yeah, this is. Hopefully we get this game going here.
I mean, the best part about it is you don't even necessarily have to be like the mark in the game, but once you take players out of their comfort zone like that, and a player like you will just do that. They'll elevate the game, take it to a spot where players then have to try to keep up to not get run over, and it takes them out of their comfort zone and gets them off their game.
Yes.
And other players can print money off that as well.
Yes, yeah, and yeah, this is, poker's a game of feel, and with the feel of this game being so tight, this might be a game where I might potentially run a big bluff and run into top set, as we've seen a couple times here, because everyone's playing so conservative.
If I'm following you around the poker room, I'm not trying to bum hunt you. I'm just trying to catch the action that you're stirring.
Yes, exactly.
I'm trying to bum hunt him.
Die raises to $10 here pre-flop with ace-king suited. Donna on the button with ace jack offsuit. Oh, excuse me.
Dalton made a call. Yeah, Donna's still in the hand yet. Dalton still has ace jack. Dalton flatted the ace 4 suited. Donna.
Oh, Donna's jamming the
Wow.
ace jack offsuit.
Speaking of tournament poker,
And now we are on die. He makes the call. Dalton can't continue. And once again, we have ace king suited against ace jack offsuit all in pre. Second time of the night. Let's see if it runs out of chop again. Oh, wow, what a flop.
hey, there we go.
Ace jack, oh. The suck and the resuck. Ace jack flopping top pair, top kicker, but only for 3 seconds of enjoyment as die turns the absolute nuts and ends the hand.
And that's how you play tournament poker, folks.
Now, have you been playing?
No, I'm playing mostly cash. I mean, I played a few events here and there, but most of the part, I've just been playing cash.
Yeah, these cash games here lately have been very, very deep here lately here at Stones, and
No, they've been really good.
action has been great. 5-10 running here last night, super deep game. Lots of $4,000-$5,000 stacks at the table last night. Game ran pretty late, as far as I've heard. So a lot of action players in that game. Lots of big pots.
Chips on 11.
Speaking of big hands, big pots, this next Wednesday is our 1025.
Oh,
The 10 and a quarter.
oh,
Wednesday.
sexy. Yes.
And I got a small glimpse at the list and the lineup. It should be a good game.
Nice.
That'll be a big game.
Nice. Oh, unfortunately, I will not be here for that. I would love to.
Just Mike and I
love
are
to be here for that.
gonna hit and run NorCal.
That's right. Got to get down to LA for the week. Updated chip counts here. Die now has the biggest chip stack after winning that pot with the ace king suited. Donna has rebought and is back in the game.
What Bry, welcome to the chat. What's going on, brother?
What is up?
Too much fun.
Poker players should have a heart sometimes. Yes, they should. You cold-hearted bleepers. Back to the action here, and Dalton raising up to 11, mixing it up here with the 9-5 of clubs.
Bulldog
Gets in there with these two offsuit.
He's got the button.
Heads up to the flop. 4-5-7. Dalton flopping middle pair. Bulldog flopping a gutter ball.
Now this should miss Dalton's opening range most of the time, so if I'm Bulldog here, I'm thinking about raising some degree. Now that said, if it's going to miss his opening range, ace high is actually ahead right now, but I still think if you can ever get him off of other ace X type hands, I think raising a raise
Absolutely.
is fine.
Calling or raising is definitely an option here, especially in position.
He just calls.
He decides to flat call. We're to
Now
the turn here.
The queen's better for Dalton's range than it is for Bulldog's.
Yes.
So if Dalton's going to continue and... No, he's going to check.
Dalton decides to check, and we'll see here if Bulldog... Nope. Decides to check back. River is the king of hearts. Dalton with the best hand. Can only lose unless Bulldog puts him off it. And we're going check, check, and Dalton is shipping this one.
I'm really surprised to see, Dalton had the best hand with the pair of fives. Part of it, yeah, he's got some showdown value. But, we can still, on the turn we can get value from a 6. But we can also, if we ever get, if we bet there, if we ever get any 7 to fold, 7, 8, 9, 7, hands like that, that's profitable as well. If he missed, he's not calling. It's hard to bluff catch 9-5. The way that board ran out, with Dalton being the original aggressor, I would expect him to be betting more than checking.
Yeah, it's maybe he caught some kind of live read or something that
Or they said there was that previous hand where he let where he checked the ace 6 over to a Bulldog and let Bulldog bluff off. Maybe thought he could bluff catch.
Dalton here with pocket jacks, raising up to $16 from under the gun plus 2. Two other players dealt pocket pairs here. Diamond, one of them here in C1, looking to go to the flop here and flop a set with pocket fours. Duke's not going to double down with the A3 of diamonds, folds from the big blind.
See these blackjack terms. I'm not a gambler. I don't know any of this. Dark,
oh yeah, you're not a gambler at all.
No.
You're not a gambler at all.
Heads up.
Oh wow, and pocket fives. Decided to fold there.
What?
Wow, very.
No.
No.
Take it back.
We take that back. We take that back. The hands are
4s, 5s, and jacks.
4s, 5s, and jacks.
An ace, 6.
Ace, 6.
Good flop for jacks.
All 3 players decide to check. 2 of diamonds on the turn. And this is one of those spots here where pocket 4s and pocket 5s are wondering if they have the best hand here with the small 2 pair. But both are out of position to the pre-flop raiser, who could possibly have checked back an ace. And Dalton now has got to feel pretty comfortable about his hand. And looks like he's going to size out a bet here, which is going to make it difficult for either of these 2 hands to continue. And see if they believe him off the story here that he has a better hand than their 2 pair. Diamond thinking about it here with pocket 4s now. What's your thought process here if you're pocket 4s or pocket 5s with Dalton raising pre, checking back the flop, and now betting the turn?
It's Dalton, so I don't fold a lot of hands to Dalton.
Enough said. Enough said. And Dalton here, hoping his loose image will get him paid by a worst hand.
If I'm diamond here in this hand, I'm probably calling, hoping that it goes check. I don't know. I've played a lot with Dalton now.
He gets away, and DL gets away as well.
Rick and Barstow, welcome to the game.
Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the chat.
Angry Pollock is always lurking. She's got a lot of problems. Would you beat up a blind person who started a fight with you? What are we talking about in the chat here right now, people? Disjunctive syllogism, welcome. I don't know, man. Veronica likes her problems.
Mike W folding under the gun. Dalton has seen a time or 2 opening up the action with pocket 4s, raises to $11 pre-flop. Donna to his left with Jack 10. Looks like she's thinking about 3-betting here. Her and Donna and Dalton are very good friends, and definitely some, as we know, some a little bit of ego going on when you're, especially when you're in position against a good friend and want to take advantage of that position and try and win some good pots off of them. That's always the thing that interests me when you see it so often. Oh, you're my friend, we're gonna check it down. But then there's the other side of it, which is you're my friend and I'm gonna try and stack you.
Yeah.
Which is what I like to see.
I want to hurt your
I like
feelings.
to see the ruthlessness. This is a poker game. I'm gonna be as friendly to you as I can while I'm trying to take your money.
So DL cold calls out of the big blind with a 9-10 clubs, and flop comes 10 high.
DL flopping top pair and is unfortunately notched here by Donna with the Jack 10 offsuit. Dalton hoping that 5 would have been a little 4 there right on the bottom card under the 10 to get there, but it is not. Donna sizing out a bet, and now her loose ace jack shove here. Does that come into play here if you're DL? That she might be firing here with air.
Yeah, I'm never folding.
And looks like that ace jack hand here is going to get some later value here for Donna, as DL is not going anywhere here with top pair.
That was her master plan. Spew 100 and 200 to get that $60 call later.
Yes. And we have a bet from Donna for $60 and a call from DL, and oh, the 10 on the turn.
Case 10.
Oh, the cruelty of this. You call top pair thinking it's good. You turn the 10 against the preflop raiser. What are the chances they have you beat here? And unfortunately for DL, he's probably going to lose some money here on this hand unless he can river the 9-5 or 8. 199 in the middle. Action is on DL. He bets out.
He's worried about that card getting checked back.
Donna's got to love this here with the Jack 10. Not too worried about a kicker problem. Pre-flop razor. Excuse me, pre-flop 3-better. I just realized DL called that 3-bet there, pre-flop with 10 out of clubs.
It was a cold call 3-bet.
It was a cold call 3-bet out of the big blind. Donna.
We just pile in the money. We don't have enough, back to get here.
Donna, I think saying here it's $2 more. Are you gonna call here if I go all in? And she says all in. Obviously DL is gonna call. And as we see indicated by the percentage on the screen, Donna with the better than 4-1 favorite to win this hand. Can DL get lucky? No. Donna rivers the second nuts with Jack 10. And a little celebratory dance from Donna.
That's why we love Donna.
Donna Delphin, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing like taking a little sip of wine while you're scooping a double up at the cash games. And here's the updated chip counts. There we see Donna move up to the middle of the pack after that win.
So like, let's pretend that both players are deeper. So Donna doesn't have 114 back. Let's say both players got 400 back. So let's say DL leads for 85 and Donna's got 400 in a stack and DL covers. What's your sizing?
With the bet out into me with the 85.
Yeah, 10 pairs of board. Jack, you have Jack 10.
She's the 3-better pre-flop. She's 3-bet with Jack 10 offsuit, a very marginal 3-betting hand. She flops the top pair, turns the magical 10. When your opponent bets into you there would be no point in raising, especially with a $400 stack. I would like to see in that spot a flat call.
Flat. And
hopefully your opponent will fire again with worse on the river. Or call off your bet if they check to you.
If they check it, it's an easy value bet. If whatever, we're never thinking about. My real question is at the turn. We're never raising it, right?
No, especially not with a $400 stack. I mean, if you're talking about an uber deep game where maybe $1,500 stacks, a really deep stack situation.
You make it like 220, 230.
Yeah, you could definitely put in a raise there and build your pot, but with a 100 to 150 big blind starting stack, in that scenario, I'd really like to see just a flat call from the turn, induce the bet from your opponent on the river. They can't put you on the 10. How can they possibly put you on a 10 with pre-betting, pre-flop, betting flop, and just flatting the turn with what looks like a pocket pair? Back to the action. Joker in seat 7, under the gun +1, raises to $16 with the ace-jack of spades. Duke folds pocket 5s there in the seat 2. And not a lot of hands here.
Donna and her newfound wealth will defend the Queen 7 offer.
I like it. I like it. To the flop. Ace 4-5. Nothing for Donna. Great flop for Joker. A little table talk going on here between Donna and directed Donna towards Joker. $20 a call. She's not going to get cute. Decides to lay the hand down. And Joker scoops the pot.
Wicked Slickerino. What's going on? Welcome to the game. You see Duke there. He's watching the stream. We're on a 25-minute delay.
Oh, yeah, you see him right there. Watching the hands. What are my opponents doing?
People getting real in the chat. I don't know.
If Donna was your mother, would you feel differently?
Depends on how you think I feel about Donna. I love Donna. Donna's a blast to play with. and she has fun. Like I said, she'll do a little dancing when she rakes a pot. She'll tell you how bad you suck when you suck out on her, but it's all in good fun. You know, it's never, you know, she's never mean about it. She's always like, you know, you're the worst, Jake. And I'm like, yeah, and of course I'm the worst.
No, she's always a pleasure to play cash games with. I've played cash games with her many times and many late night games. Back to the action here. There's a straddle from Joker under the gun. Bulldog limps in under the gun with Queen Jack offsuit. Donna gets in there for $3 more out of the big blind with Ace 4 offsuit. Joker checks his straddle, and we are 3 ways to the flop. Bulldog loving this flop. Top pair, good kicker. Joker with the gutter ball. 9 would give him the straight. Donna.
And Bulldog's gonna overbet the pot.
And Bulldog here is betting what looks like 25 or so into 19.
Maybe it's 25.
Something I was thinking about today, when is the... Maybe we'll have to get this checked out here. When is the next Stones
Oh, like a big tournament
series? I heard something the other day about something coming up.
Justin's got something in the works. I'll have to verify that with him, but
we'll have to get that checked out.
It looks really good. I think he's got a couple other celebrity guest commentators in mind to come in and do some of the final tables with us. But
awesome.
It looks really good so far.
Awesome. Yeah, these Stones tournaments are
off the chain.
When they have the tournament series here, they have what, as far as I've seen, is the best structures for medium buy-in tournaments. They're super deep,
yeah,
lots of play.
At this price point, it's really tough to compare to. I mean, the only thing I can compare it to is like the World Series, like WPT Deep Stack.
WPT, yes, yeah.
Deep stacks and structures like that.
No, it's very comparable. It's very comparable to those structures, and it's always exciting when Stones has a series here. And back to the cash game action. Dalton raises to $16 on the button with King 6 offsuit. Mike W. limp calls to his immediate right with King 10. And Dalton outflops King 10 offsuit here. Mike checks to him, Dalton bets. And most likely we're going to see the end of this hand here on the flop. Oh no, Mike has other plans. He says, no, no, no.
Wow.
No, no, no. I am going to defend here and float you. And now Dalton's got 2 options here. I could see really going either way. His opponent is showing weakness. You can definitely put him on a flush draw. He is short stacked here, and he is making the correct play, putting him all in. And Mike might be thinking something weird's going on here because he called the flop with nothing. Oh, he gets away.
Interesting float out of position. Maybe you thought he could like rep a spade if a spade fell off and he could jam. But I would think I'd want to be a lot deeper if I did that. Yeah, poker's weird sometimes.
Poker's weird a lot of times, let's be honest.
Oh my god.
A lot of weird stuff happening. There we go, Veronica and friends. Special date, everyone mark your calendars. Wednesday, December 14th. 1-3, no limit hold'em, $500 maximum. Here on the live stream. Tell your relatives, tell your cousins to tune in on December 14th with Veronica. Should be a fun night as always, is when she's here. She's always never slacking on the entertainment value.
And she's supporting the dead grape industry, let's face it. I mean, it's Wine Wednesdays and they barrel. Jesus Lord, do they barrel. So Mike's gonna limp in Ace-King suited. Dalton makes it 16 to go with the Ace-4. Donna lets go of Ace-6, because she does not hate money despite her Queen 7 offsuit defense. Bulldog here in the big blind wakes up Ace-Jack. All the aces are accounted for. He's gonna flat.
And looks like we're gonna see a limp raise all in here. The perfect spot with the short stack to get it in here with Ace-King of clubs, and 78 more for Dalton to call. And definitely not liking the spot.
Under his breath, he said, "Suck it, Dalton."
Now Dalton.
Wow, he's gonna make the call.
And I think that his call here is influenced a little bit by that check fold on the turn.
He thinks Mike might be getting a little frustrated, maybe.
Yeah.
Might be trying to limp in something, you know, like king queen, king jack, and it's just like, you know, screw it. Let's get it in. And Dalton says, I don't like folding.
So we're all in pre-flop here to the flop. Ace 4 offsuit versus ace king of clubs. Gin flop for Mike W putting, oh, Dalton picks up a backdoor gutter ball. And nope, he does not put the bad beat on Mike. Mike will scoop the pot for a nice little 111 profit. And now there's something, you know, I think that is not talked about enough is plays that are seen here on the live stream. And
yes,
we see the whole cards. We see, oh no, what are you doing right here in a certain spot? But there's lots of live reads. There's lots of stuff going on at the table. History between players. You know, you get those feelings that are kind of indescribable at the poker table in the live setting. You know, there's so many dynamics to hands that are critiqued a certain way, and yet there's maybe there's stuff right there with the ace 4. Maybe Dalton saw something that we don't see here from the booth.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's really tough, you know, like I said, to know the entire thought process, you know, that a player's thinking. We can see the cards, we can, you know, see the, you know, how much they're betting. We can put the line together. But live poker, like you said, is so much more than that. Where there's, I mean, live reads are a huge part of the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, who knows? Maybe Mike unknowingly flashed the king of clubs there to Dalton, and maybe Dalton's thinking, I'm going to snap off this king queen suit here with the
right, because he never has ace king there, right? Veronica's right. I do not have feelings.
Back to the action here. DL limping in with ace jack offsuit. Yes, Donna. Raise up the 7 high. I like it. I like it a lot. And die with the king 10 suited. Not wanting to fold this hand. Will he call? Will he 3-bet? He's sitting here thinking about it. What do you think about this play here? I see that. Here comes the 3-bet.
I mean, we're suited, so I think I have no problem flatting there. At the same time,
I love it. Out of position, I like it. I like mixing that little 3-bet in there sometimes.
So we got a 3-bet here. It's a 42 from Die, and he gets through.
And he gets through. Would have been a interesting. It would have been a little different there, I think, if ace jack had opened. Obviously, would have changed the entire dynamics. Maybe Die wouldn't have 3-bet there. His read was spot on though. He sensed the weak raise there in position from Donna, trying to punish the limp, and took it down with a nice little perfect timing 3-bet there.
On the other end of that, I would say, even if Donna calls, your C-bets are going to be so much more effective leading into a 3-bet pot when you're the original aggressor. So when there's a lot of boards, we said, as much, you know, as sexy as the king 10 suited to see a flop with, I mean, you're going to brick most of the time. So even though we know we're narrowing our own range we're repping a much stronger range, which is going to help our C-bets get through. And Donna opens up a lot of hands sometimes, so.
All true. And here we go again. Looks like this is going to be the second time that Donna is 3-betting. I'm trying to see what's going on here.
Dalton makes it 11 to go with a 9-5 of spades. Donna makes a call, and she might have 3-bet. Did she 3-bet? Bulldog, queens. If I'm not mistaken, Donna 3-bet. Yeah.
I think, yeah, there we go.
So
Donna,
it's a raise to 11 from Dalton with the 9-5 of spades. Donna with king queen of spades makes it 33 to go, and Bulldog cold calls the button with queens. Dalton's getting laid a hell of a price, and he makes a call, and we got 3-way action near the flop. King 9-7.
There we go. Donna flops top pair. Bulldog not liking the queen. Dalton, middle pair 9s. Everyone has
a little
something here. Interesting to see how this hand plays out. There's the indicated stack sizes there. Although Bulldog definitely has more than 149. Looks like he's playing right around 300 or so, if I had to guess. And we're going check, check, check. Free turn card. Everybody hates that turn.
Dalton.
Oh, Dalton, I thought he was going to. I saw him grabbing chips there. I was hoping he would fire. Oh. Now Donna here. I believe we saw she has king, queen of spades.
Yes.
Oh, and Dalton gets there with the 9 5s of spades. Dirty, dirty. He is loving life right now. There's $103 in the middle. He is sizing out a bet. And now, interesting spot here. It's been checked the whole way. What you think is a blank here on the river with the 5 of diamonds.
Right.
You can't really imagine that the 5 of diamonds has changed anything.
The 6-8 gets there, but how does anyone have 6-8 in his hand?
But now
right?
Yeah, how can you know? Yeah.
But how does someone have 9-5?
Yes, that's true.
It happens.
And this is a tough spot for Donna because Dalton could easily have an ace. He could easily have 2 pair, but maybe he has a busted flush draw. Maybe he has absolutely nothing.
Donna makes a call.
And Donna makes the call and is not going to like what she sees. And
Bulldog, you can never overcall here.
Bulldog, yeah, this would be a very tough hero call at this point. Lays down the queen's face up. Donna shows her hand.
King, queen, king, queen.
Queen of spades. Dalton
no good.
Gets it with the 9-5 of spades and ships the pot and takes a bite of the delicious Stone's Gambling Hall pizza as he wins the hand. There's the updated chip counts. Dalton moving up to 585. There's been some interesting hands here tonight. A lot of unorthodox plays.
It's the 1-3. I mean, yes, definitely. I mean, what we talk about. I mean, the game plays deep and it plays strange at times, and it can be very, very profitable. It can also be very frustrating for players who want to play a certain way and expect other players to play a certain way. Get caught, projecting their thinking on other players. Not that that happens to me all the time. But I mean, yeah, but it's a good game. I mean, it's kind of weird, playing kind of tight right now, but unique to say the least.
Yes, that is the adjective, unique. It's been a very unique game tonight.
Joker waking up with kings.
Joker waking up with kings. I think I heard a straddle is on this hand.
Makes it 25 to go. Yeah, it's a $6 straddle from Dalton.
And it's been raised to, was it 20 or 25?
Well, it's like 25.
25.
Yeah, 25. Dalton's going to defend the straddle with the Jack-10 off.
A lot of flops here that could create some action. Hopefully we see one of them. And there it is.
There it is.
There's the action flop that I was hoping for. Yes! Jack-10 flops the, really one of the flops that you really want to see when you're straddling with Jack-10, calling a raise out of position. The old Jack-Queen-9 flop. Now here we go.
This board, this sizing, I'm never thinking about raising here from Dalton. I am just flatting the entire way.
Now, it's a stiff bet. It's a pot-sized bet by Joker here with pocket kings, as it's a very scary board. Lots of draws. You might possibly beat, he's Dalton here now. Now this might change the dynamics of the hand because of this strong bet. He might decide to raise here. Nope. Dalton takes the safe route. Flat calls 50. And we're going to the turn, and both players do not like that turn card. It's going to be interesting to see if we see any money go in the middle here and don't see a free river. Joker has to hate that card, but you also have to be thinking, does my opponent have a Jack-10? Does my opponent have a flush draw and a pair?
Queen 10, 9, 10, you can get value from clubs.
He bets 100, and little does Dalton know that a raise would most likely take this pot down, and Dalton is not going anywhere. He's saying, I call, and let's go to a river. And hopefully I hit a king, and oh, that is not what Dalton wanted to see, even though he did improve his hand to 2 pair. Joker rivers the absolute nuts with Broadway. And now, interesting to see the sizing here that Joker decides to go with.
Should be jamming, right?
354 in the middle.
She got
$201 back.
Easy jam.
There it is, all in. And Dalton has to hate those 2 words. He has now put in the bluff catching spot. Can't figure to be good here too often. It's been a tight game so far tonight. You can't figure your opponent's pulling what would be, I would call, a rather insane bet for this hand. An insane bluff, should I say?
We beat nothing.
But Dalton is not convinced. He's going into the tank. His opponent raised pre, bet the flop, bet the turn, shove the river. That little thought is creeping into his head that we all have. Is he bluffing?
Yeah, what's he bluffing with?
Is he bluffing?
Like, if you think he just like decided to arbitrarily get like nuts with a hand like 6-8 of clubs,
Can I
which
call
got there.
Yep.
6-8, you know, I mean, so he has 2 little clubs that would have just barreled, or like ace-7.
He's thinking about it. He's
No.
He's wondering if he could pull off what would be a massive hero call here. Oh, is this for show or is he really going to do it?
I love it.
Welcome, sir.
Yes.
One of our cash game regulars here just came over and said hello at the window. Action Dan.
He's sitting in the stream. Yes.
Oh, yes.
The game is about to get out of them.
Is that
Dalton
actually?
makes the call.
Dalton makes the hero call. And unfortunately for him, he's going to see the bad news. And like I said, although it was not the correct decision, maybe he picked up something that misled him there to making that decision, as we were sitting here in the booth and cannot see everything from everyone's point of view.
So it's 225 with the total river call. Yeah. So guys, if you like what you see, hit the heart button. Give us a follow. We'll notify you when we go live. We stream on Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 10. We also stream occasionally once a month on Sunday for our last Sunday of the month 40K guarantee. This Wednesday is our 1025 no limit. It is going to be a monster of a lineup.
Yes.
Some very big names, a lot of money. There's no cap. Barrels.
Yes. Yeah, and for those of you joining us here tonight, watching this low/medium stakes game here at Stone's Gambling Hall, definitely tune in next Wednesday for the 1025. Very big game. As you said, there will be some big names there. There will be lots of big pots, a lot of action. Tune in next Wednesday.
Should be a monster.
7 p.m., same time as always here on twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker. Back to the action. Not a lot of playable hands, so we're probably not going to see too much of a big pot unless we see some...
Donna's going full ninja.
Donna's just going ninja. She's put on the hood.
Going stealth.
She's put on the hood. She's trying to mix it up a little bit. Mike W. limps in under the gun with ace-10. Diamond limps the button with ace-2 offsuit. We're going 3 ways to the flop with... Now Duke here flops 2 pair. Mike W, for all intents and purposes, flops the nuts with ace-10 and checks the button, who's drawing dead, trying to poke at this, trying to take it down with a small bet. And Mike W calls, trapping here. Checks the turn, and this hand's most likely going to be done. Going to see a bet here. Going to fold. Unless... No. And that'll do it. Mike W wins a small pot with ace-10. You know, it's been interesting having some time talking about the 1025 here to reflect on the time that I was here on the 1025, talking about live reads, talking about
you put that big hand with Kathy, right?
Yes, Kathy Stahl, good friend of mine. Great player.
You're a mess.
Oh man, you know.
Well, like I said, there was a library there.
So there's
history there.
There's 3 things in the hand.
That's why I'm not bum hunting you.
No.
Tell us about it.
There's 3 things in the hand that people didn't know. First off, I've played with Kathy enough to identify betting patterns with her.
Yeah.
There were some hands earlier in that game before the live stream started where she, as she did in that hand, where she raised pre-flop from under the gun, bet the flop, bet the turn, and then bet small according to the pot on the river. There was twice earlier that night where she took the exact same line.
With a marginal hand. With a marginal hand or bluff.
With a hand where she raised bet, got raised big on the river and snap folded. And happened again, and she bet, small on the river, and snap folded. And, you know, honestly, looking back on the hand, I should have gotten away on the turn. I felt as if I was beat, and I definitely played the hand horrible. I'm not going to say anything else about it other than that, but I will say this, after being absolutely honest and
And we appreciate that.
absolutely honest about the hand, I'm not going to lie. That was my first time playing on a live stream game. That was that was the first time playing in that big of a game for me in about 4 years.
Real quick here, we got Bulldog and Duke have both turned flushes.
Wow, back to the action here. More importantly, we have an $87 pot, and both players, again, continuing the theme of trappy trickiness here, checking the flush. Bulldog now, feeling supremely confident that his jack-high flush is good, checks again. And now Duke is, how much is he gonna bet? And the question is, does Bulldog check raise?
Wow, it goes check, check.
Wow. What is going on here? What is going on? Wow.
My brain is broke.
Wow, both players check the turn and the river. Wow. Wow. Bartender, we need some shots over here. Send them over to the table over here. Wow, interesting. Wow, what is going on?
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on here tonight? I'm a little bit of a loss of words for that one. Both players turn the flush on an unpaired board. Jack high and 9 high.
Goes check,
Check, check. River pairs the board. Check, check again. Very, very. This is a weird game. What is going on tonight? Is there something that I don't know about? Interesting play. So, anyways.
So, it was the first time.
So, for those of you who don't know the hand we're talking about, Kathy raised under the gun with Ace Jack. I called the button to $75 with King Jack. The flop came, I believe, King 10 low. She flops the gutter ball. Continuation bets. I call. She turns the nuts with the queen. She bets again on the turn. I felt like I was beat. Should have folded. Made a bad call.
You river 2 pair.
And no, I just had 1 pair. I had 1 pair kings. I turned my hand into a bluff on
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
the river, she bets, I think she bet 600 on the turn and bet 600 again on the river. And I now am completely turning my hand into a bluff.
Yeah.
And because of previous hands that I'd seen where she had bet weak on the river and folded, and bet weak on the river folded, and off of obviously an incorrect live read, which we all make from time to time.
You do it.
I had the thought of, oh, how epic is this gonna be? Because I knew she had me beat. I knew she had ace, king, aces. I put her on that type of hand, I really did. By the way she played, I put her on a bigger 1-pair hand.
And you had to get her off.
Possibly king, queen, which in retrospect, she's obviously probably not folding ever. And in my mind, I thought, I can get her to fold this because she's gonna fold so much to me because she has so much respect for my game. And, honestly, having time, retrospect, to think about it, talking with my dad and some good friends about it, I kind of blew up under the bright lights. I'm not gonna lie. I learned a valuable lesson that day to not be, I wasn't mentally prepared for that game. I wasn't. I'm not gonna lie. Lesson learned for me.
Another feeling.
So
DL here with pocket kings. He was the original aggressor pre-flop. He c-bets for 17 on an ace-high board. He's got an inside straight draw. Duke with a pair and inside straight draw.
Can't imagine Duke here calling with
if Duke's checking back flushes, I don't see him calling 1 pair inside straight draws. Some of course, some would say that he reaches for chips. Because the hands. Yeah.
Here we go. Duke calls, and DL does definitely not like that. Turn is a queen. Both players really not liking that turn card. Check, check. River a 3. And if Duke can get creative here, he has played very tight tonight. He does not use a table image to his advantage and try and win this pot. And Duke mucks the jack 10. DL shifts pocket kings. Another small pot. Medium pot for DL. I just have to say this in case there's a chance, a 1%, 2%, 1 outer chance. If I can get into this game, I just want to put that out there to the universe. If I can get a seat in this game, if it opens up, if that's possible, just want to put that out there. I will not disappoint the fans if I can get put in this game, I promise. I promise I'll raise 1 out of 3 hands. That's a promise. I will literally raise 1 out of 3 hands if I can get in this game. Like if I have not raised the last 2 hands, I will raise the 3rd hand. And if it has to be a 3-bet, I will do it. If I can get in this game, just have to say it. Just gotta put it out there. You gotta put it out there.
I know you're being literal there.
I am. This is a promise. I promise.
I'm not bum hunting. I just like the action he creates.
Back to the action here. Mike W on the button, pumping it up to 15. Looks like with pocket 10s. And no action. Not a lot of playable hands. Everyone's playing a little on the tighter side here. Interesting game. It's been an interesting game here tonight. It's been that's one of the adjectives you can use. Interesting.
Unique to say the least. Jeez.
Dalton, where are you at? We need you back. Come back to us.
30 minutes. All players rack attack 30 minutes.
What other streak was that Dan was getting in the game? Not sure if he was just teasing us or not.
Not sure. Hopefully he joins the game here later on. Back to the action here.
See, Donna went full grinder mode. Earbuds in. She had the hoodie on for a little while.
She's focused up.
She makes it 20 to go on the button with the queen jack off. Diamond. Ace king. Did he straddle here?
That's what I was trying to figure out here.
I think Diamond straddled for 6, and Donna makes it 20 to go. That would explain her sizing here.
There we go.
Also would explain.
And yeah, you gotta love this
Diamond's
here.
quandary.
You gotta love to put a straddle in. You're only facing one raise on the button, which is a wide range of hands here. You've got ace king offsuit. Gotta put in the 3-bet. He's reaching for chips. The only question is how much. It looks like we're looking at 56, if I can see correctly here on the screen. There it is.
There it is.
Donna, priced in, calls 36 more, and we're going to a flop. A lot of action flops here. We can see where both these hands
Queen
get
jack
into
10.
a big pot.
Come on. Damn it.
Queen jack 10 one time! Unfortunately for Donna, and luckily for Diamond, it's a king low flop. Unless Donna decides to get ultra creative here, we're most likely going to see a bet from Diamond and a fold from Donna.
116 in the pot.
And looks like he is going to come out with a stiff bet that does not.
It says get off my pot.
He says, get off my pot.
The thing I don't like about it is you take away all Donna's bluffs. Now, if she stuffs it here, I mean, we can't fold, obviously, but she doesn't really have any bluffs, so then, because we're blocking the king, because we have one of the kings, it's hard for her to have a worse king, which means that she's going to be only jamming better, some flush draws. I'd much rather either check to try to induce.
I like the check right there.
I like checking personally.
I like the check.
Or
You've
betting small.
For the situation and the stack sizes, you basically flop the nuts.
Yeah.
I feel like the best chance there to get some money out of your opponent is to induce a bluff or induce a semi-bluff.
Either checking or bet really small.
Yeah.
Sometimes
check or bet small.
Depending on how you perceive, your opponent perceives bet sizing. Sometimes they go really small bets really nice or two. You just get someone to spaz out like, oh my god, look, he's weak, because and then they lose their mind. I'm not saying I do it, but I do it.
Yep.
But yeah, or check and get your opponent to, and even if it was check, then you can go bet on 2 streets and get value from worse than the king. But when you bet, make a pot-sized bet when your opponent's only got an SPR or 2 back, you just run off all their bluffs, and it's hard for them to continue in the hand.
Absolutely.
And you run off all your value. We don't like it. But then again, we don't like most things. But we love this game.
Absolutely. And we got a question here from Goof Live. Are they playing from Sacramento? We are in Citrus Heights, which is 20 minutes from Midtown, downtown Sacramento.
Jack 7-3, 2 diamonds.
Bulldog flops top pair. Not a whole lot. Die picks up a gutter ball 8
Checks
for a straight.
through.
And now Bulldog's got to feel pretty comfortable about this turn card here. That his hand is the best, and Joker getting a little creative here. Senses the weakness.
Wow.
Says, I'm going to try and take this down. This game has been so tight tonight. I'm going to try and win this spot right here.
And Bulldog cut chips to call, and then puts a little hesitation there.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna put in the raise there. I think grab some
Would
chips.
have been a weird spot to raise.
And now, can Joker bet enough to get Bulldog to fold? That is the question. Will he bet? Or does he just say, I'm done with this hand? Yes, I love it. Go for it. You gotta bet big though, buddy. Do it.
45 in the pot. He bets 2/3.
He bets 30 into
45.
45. Bulldog debating what to do here.
I think after we check back the flop, we have an easy call here on the river, right? I mean, part of it when we're checking back there, we're trying to induce someone to do something on the turn.
Yeah, with the check back on the flop,
We can't fold.
you pretty much have to call here. Little table talk going on. He said only 30 to Joker. Trying to get
If he's
some
got a
kind of
3,
read.
good for him. I mean, I think we call off and
He just said, I usually fold, but because of the camera, I call. And luckily for him, we are on camera, and that call is going to reward him the pot. Nice hand by Bulldog there. Nice hand by Bulldog there. Checking back the flop, which induced the bluff on the turn, and Blue induced the bluff on the river. If he had bet that flop, most likely he just would have won a nothing pot, and that check back rewarded him a little more value there.
I mean, it's hard to get value from worse hands. We can get value from flush draws, a few straight draw combinations. But overall, I think checking back. Now, multi-way, I might...
I was going to say, that was very interesting. It was 5 ways. That was a very draw-heavy flop, a very interesting play.
If we're heads up, I'm definitely checking back. Multi-way, I'm probably leaning more towards betting the flop. Because there are straight draws and flush draws you can get value from. We're never blowing anyone off a jack, but there's other hands that we can't get called by. And players sometimes get sticky. Someone with ace-7 might stick around for middle pair. I don't know. Multi-way, I'm probably betting.
No, yeah.
Heads up, I'm checking back.
Yep.
Dalton getting right back to work.
There we go.
With the 10-6 of hearts.
Dalton says, I'm back. I'm raising up. 10-6 of hearts. Diamond deciding whether to defend here out of the small blind with ace 10 offsuit.
3-bet. Put more money in the pot.
Looks like a flat call. A lot of possibilities for a good-sized pot here with these two hands, the way they match up. Here we go to the flop. King 9-4. Both players miss. Dalton has position. Dalton was the pre-flop raiser.
And bet full should, right?
Looks like a c-bet will most likely get through here. The power of position. The power of aggression. Most likely going to win here for Dalton. Unless Diamond decides to... Nope. Nice hand by Dalton.
Easy game.
Easy game.
So a couple of our fans in the chat were talking about it before, like in a game like this where, some of the betting lines are, I don't want to say like irrational, but the unique betting lines, and players have such wide pre-flop flat ranges and such strong flat ranges as well that you really have to be, like you say, play the player and really know your opponent specifically. But betting patterns or size intels, like I said, on top of those flat rates, are really going to tell a lot. We saw Dalton there with absolute air make a pot size bet, roughly. I mean, a pot size bet there. I'm curious to see what he would have done on that hand if he had like king queen. If he would have checked back, try to and do something like we saw Bulldog do a few hands ago, or if he would have made the same pot size bet on king 9-3 if he actually had a value betting type hand.
And it's funny here, I'm just reading the chat here. The Terrible Stream says, Dalton too good, took a break and comes back with no burdens, no tilt. I was just thinking the same thing. He made an incorrect call there, a big call with the 2-pair Jack 10, walked away from the table, collected himself, comes back, has a smile on his face, chatting with everyone again.
And raises the 10-6.
And he's back in the game, he's back at it. That's what he does. Back to the action here, we've got a...
Dalton straddled for 6, couple limpers, and Dalton exercises his option out of the straddle, makes it 36 to go. He thinks there's a lot of free cheese out there. Bulldog is so strong here.
Little table talk here. Dalton, 3 bets. Bulldog limp calls with pocket 10s in position, and
Duke,
Duke
8s.
getting in there with pocket 8s.
There we go.
A lot of coordinated 8, 9, 10 type flops. Could see some action here. To the flop we go.
Service on 10, please.
And queen, queen, deuce, 2 hearts. Bulldog with the best hand. Duke. Unsure if he has the best hand with pocket 8s. Turn is a jack. All 3 players are not in love with this board. Bulldog still in lead. Duke in a tough spot here, out of position against 2 players. Decides to check. And now, can Dalton win the pot with ace high against 2 better hands? I love it. Fire! Fire! Fire away! Here we go. Again, Dalton using the power of aggression. Raised pre-flop. Can easily have a jack here. Could have easily had a queen here. It's been a tight game. I love this bet by Dalton. No matter what happens here, I love this bet by Dalton. He senses the weakness. It's been a tight game. You have to go for it here, I think. If you've pumped it up here out of the straddle, you see weak action.
And the thing about, I mean, where Dalton is back here, he can also, it's hard for Bulldog to call with, hands, like 8s, 9s, 10s, 7s, pairs like that, because he's got to worry about Duke behind him. So, and after Duke checks twice, it's hard for him to have a value type hand.
No, this is a great bet. Not knowing what your opponents have here, I like this play. It's a good spot. And you could hear the sigh, the moan of agony from Bulldog there with pocket 10s. The pre-flop raiser raises big, bets the flop, and oh, here we go.
Wow, raise! Duke,
wow, I heard the words raise. Duke says, I'm gonna use. Wow, my
insta fold from Dalton. Duke shows the 8.
Shows the 8s there. I think he thinks he might have been able to make Dalton fold the best hand, and might be thinking he's showing a worse hand, but little does he know that he actually had the best hand.
Wow.
Interesting hand. Interesting spot.
Turns the 8s into a
Duke's
bluff.
been playing very tight, very conservative, and decides to check raise right at the right time. What do you think about that right there?
It's a strange line. If we're expecting, is our opponent ever, are we trying to get him off of kings, aces? No.
The question I have is, for him right now, is did he think he was bluffing, or did he sense that Dalton had ace high, in fact, in which he did? I'm not sure, and I guess we'll never know until we ask him after the show.
Dalton, we can get Dalton to fold ace jack. I guess we're trying to get 9s and 10s to fold. We can try to get ace jack to fold. But other than
It's
that,
a strong play. It's a strong play. He's repping the queen. He's been playing tight all night. He's showed top set kings. He's been playing very conservative, and he now has used his image to win that hand. With little did he know, I think maybe is the best hand. I don't know. We'll never know what he thought. But nonetheless, good timing there from Duke and C2 to win that pot. Back to the action. Not a whole lot of hands here to play with.
So that said, okay, so here's in the chat, people said, that he read something from Dalton. So if you think Dalton's airballing there, aren't we more profitable just to check call bluffs? If we think Dalton's just dumping, we make more money by flatting and then catching the river as well. Not that we want to make some huge river calls, but my God, if we're going to put 200 in there, I think we make more money if we check call. If we're trying to get value, if we think we made a read and we think Dalton's effectively full of shit, then I think check call is more profitable. You would check raise there. Yeah. Then we're turning a hand to a bluff and we're trying to get better hands to fold. But if that's the case, then we're not really going with a read. We're just trying to okay, well, or so we read that he has some sort of marginal value hand that's better than ours, 9s, 10s, or ace jack. But that's really, a very, very
and that's what I was wondering. I was wondering, was he thinking that he's putting Dalton off of ace jack? Was he thinking that he was putting Dalton off of pocket kings or
9s, 10s, but even I don't think 9s, 10s.
No,
9s, 10s don't bet on queen jack. When the jack peels off, 9s and 10s don't bet either.
That was a really dumb thing I just said. Yeah.
So I guess we're only trying to get Dalton off of ace jack. Other than that, and if we think he's air or no, and that's it. It's like just ace jack. Otherwise, we run off our value. I don't know. If we think we have value there, if we think we're best.
Very interesting hand.
Poker's broken. My brain hurts. And if Dalton has a queen, then we're just, here you go. Can Dalton? I mean, he can still have a queen there.
Absolutely, he totally could. Raised up out of the straddle, checks the flop on queen, queen, deuce with the queen. He could have totally had a queen there. Bulldog limps in under the gun with 6-3 offsuit. Die leaves down the 7 deuce. We are not playing 7 deuce tonight. That'd be a fun
7 deuce
live stream game. Little 7 deuce action. Diamond raises up with ace-6 offsuit. Duke calls from the cutoff. Excuse me, no. Where are we at here? Duke calls with ace-queen. We're going multi-ways to the flop here.
Bulldog's going to defend the straddle. No, he limped. Bulldog limped 6-3.
8, 9, 6.
Got a pair of 6s for Diamond. DL makes a pair of 8s. No one's got a 9. Bulldog also makes a pair of 6s.
A lot of people have a little piece of this.
And Dan's in the game. Happy birthday, everyone.
Yes.
This game is about to get out of the mud.
Yes! That's exactly what this game needed. Action Dan just sat in the game and will be dealt in next hand there in seat number 6. Turn is a 7, giving Joker the gutter ball 10 high straight. Dalton has other plans and says, I'm gonna...
Dalton's at the wrong end of it.
Bet the low end here.
He bets 15.
Bets $15.
Joker clicks back. Makes it 30. Is that a min raise I saw?
Yes, it is. It's a min click and
Diamond decides to not set $30 on fire. I am Horror Crusher. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Dalton has no part of it.
that's going to end the hand right there. Shows the 10 ball.
We know Joker.
And here we are,
know.
Action Dan, sitting in seat number 6. Played with him 2 nights ago. Always a character to play with. Lots of table talk. Lots of action.
He's one of the best. I mean, like I said, he's one of those guys. You're gonna have a blast playing with.
He's fun. He's fun to play with. He's a very comical guy. He always makes things interesting. So introducing the Stones app, everyone. Download it for free on Android or iPhone networks. You can check and see how many games are going.
You can put your name on the list.
You can put your name on the list. You can see upcoming tournaments. Everything there. Download it, everyone. Stones mobile app. Download it. It is a must.
Straddle's on.
Straddle's on.
I'm not mistaken.
Not a whole lot of hands here.
It's free cheese, Dalton. Who cares what you got? You're on the button. No.
DL limps in for 6. And looks like we're gonna go 4 ways to the flop. And here we go. Oh, Action Dan. Staying true to the name, bets out with... It's a mystery. We do not know Action Dan's hand.
At this point, I don't know if Action Dan knows his hand.
Flop is 8-6-3-2 hearts. Bet from Action Dan. Call from Bulldog. We do not know our opponent's hands. Action Dan checks. Little table talk going on. Now, Bulldog just said, I haven't looked. I haven't looked at my hand yet. And that's something that Action Dan is known for saying quite often, is I haven't checked my hand yet, which you just never know what's going on with him. Little sound effect there from Dan.
Action Dan bets 11.
Dan bets 11, and now we reveal that Bulldog has missed his flush draw. And
the board's 4 cards to a straight though. 6, 7, 8, 7.
And is Bulldog thinking about raising here? Is he thinking about repping the 7? Little table talk going on. I think he said. Nope, he's not gonna do it. Is Action Dan showing a card? Shows the 8.
Shows an 8. It's good.
Welcome to the table, Action Dan.
Very first time I played with Action Dan, I had no history with him. None. And I mean absolutely none. And I made a big fold, which is actually the way he played was like a pretty standard fold in like little spots, like that. And people just look like, or what are you, high? And I'm like, what? Like he's always like, they're like, no, just put it away, bro. Like, and I'm just like, okay. Then the session continued. I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah. He's
I made a big standard fold, and it was. He's a gem. He's an absolute gem.
You know what? I actually played with Action Dan one time over at Folsom Lake Bowl a couple years ago, and the power went out. It was a big storm.
Wow.
And we were playing with a lantern on the table. They pulled out, just like you would go when you go camping. They pulled out a little lantern. They put it on the table, right in the middle of the table. It was one of the most interesting games I've ever played in. Power's out, lights are out with a lantern. It was a very interesting game.
These stories.
When I see him, I think about that every once in a while.
Now he's a guy I don't mind, stacking off 2 times a game. Like he's such a good guy. He's a lot of fun to play with.
Yep.
He's always got a smile on his face.
Yep.
And he definitely will drive the action.
Yes, he is an action driver, absolutely. He did not. He earned that nickname. He definitely earned that nickname. Once again, unfortunately, for us, not a whole lot of strong hands here, so. There's Dalton. And now this will be an interesting dynamic here with Dalton and Action Dan to his left with position on him. Both action players, both known for mixing it up. We could see some interesting hands here now. Dan coming to this game is going to change the dynamics of this table for sure.
So Dalton makes it 11 to go with the Queen 10 off. Action Dan comes along Queen 8 off.
And Bulldog gets in there. He's been playing the low connectors all night. He's going to continue that trend. 3 ways to the flop. 9 Jack 7. Dalton loving that flop as the pre-flop raiser with chance here to turn the nuts. Bets his open-ended straight draw for what looks right around half pot. Action Dan trying to decide what to do here. He's got an over, might possibly be good, a gutter ball 10. And I was gonna say I would bet we are not gonna see this hand be over here on the flop.
Dan's gonna float him.
To the turn we go. Jack. Both players now still sitting on queen high now.
And that is definitely a card that Action Dan is capable of pulling the trigger on. And now he's gonna check back.
Turn goes check. River, deuce, Dalton. 10 kicker plays. And here we go. Yes! Yes! I love it! Yes! The bluff! 37 into 68. A little more than half pot. Dalton's gotta hate that. Oh, is he gonna do the hero call, the notchage here? I love this.
This would be.
Oh yes!
Oh my God!
Yes! Oh,
Dalton calls queen high.
he actually notched Dan right there. He had him notched with the queen 10. How beautiful is this?
So look at that.
Oh,
Oh my God! Look at Dalton.
oh, I love it. I love
Guilty
it.
as charged.
This is great. Looks like I did not speak too soon when I said Action Dan is going to change the dynamic of this game. He's going to get this game out of the muck.
What?
Everyone's in a little bit of disbelief, I'm sure, at the table with that hand. Dalton feels about as good as you can feel right there.
God, when's the last time you hear someone with queen where it wasn't like the nut no pair, like
Yes.
where you like queen high? When's the last time God?
Yeah, it's not doesn't happen very often. Great hand there. Great read by Dalton. Got to give Dan credit. He sensed the Dalton was weak on the river. He tried to go for it. It was a great spot to bluff.
Yeah.
Both players, hats off to them how they played that hand. most of the time, Dan takes that down. Dalton just used his spidey senses and figured it out.
This is part is you hate yourself if Dan's like turning like a river pair of deuces or something
like a king rag bluff. Yeah. No, that was a awesome hand.
If he shows up there with like king 10, you just hate yourself.
Looks like we have a raise here to $15. Under the gun +2 from DL with ace-6 of clubs. Action Dan says I'm in. Calls for the cutoff with 7-5 offsuit.
You thought you won in this game before.
Oh man, I want it so bad.
So Dan could come in.
Hey, Donna, you are the real MVP.
I really
You are. Donna just came over here and said you're welcome for getting up and getting Action Dan in this game to get this game out of the muck. And wow, DL flops the dream, flops the 6-6 deuce rag, raise with ace-6 of clubs. Everything's going according to plan. Flop trips. Hopefully your opponents have something that can continue in this hand. Unfortunately, no one really has anything, so unless we see some creativeness going on here, we're gonna... Oh, and there it is. There's the creativeness I'm talking about. Action Dan leading out for $18 with 7 high. Much to DL's delight. Calls with ace-6 of clubs with the flop trips. Looks like we're gonna go heads up to the turn. Oh, and
Donna made the first call with the ace queen, and you said if we're calling with queen high against Dan, ace queen, even the better. But DL is behind with trip sixes, and that card's actually good for his range.
And Dye made the correct call against the better right there, who was worse than him with the 7 high. But unfortunately for him, the ace-6 was behind him here, and now is Dye thinking about possible bluff here to try and win his hand that's been raised pre-flop.
The hard part
that call is the action goes 3 checks on the turn, and
with DL overcalling the flop, it's really hard for him to not think he has. I mean, 4-5 and like 3-4 maybe for like straight draws. Other than that, he's gonna have a lot of pairs. He's gonna have some sixes sometimes, which really makes turning your hand or makes bluffing here tough. Plus, you have the nut no pair. So if he's got like a hand like 3-4 or 4-5, you don't have to bluff anyway. If anything, if you're turning your hand to bluff, you're trying to get Dan off.
And now this is not necessarily a snap fold here from Dye. The action was checked around the turn. What hands is the pre-flop raiser calling the flop, checking back turn, and betting on the river value for it? But nope, Dye sniffs it out, gets away. DL scoops a nice little smallish, medium-ish pot.
And it's harder for him to have those inside straight draws 3-4 or 5-4. Or 4-5 when he was the original pre-flop raiser. DL. So yeah, we don't call.
Game.
Yeah, the whole 3 hands. Yeah.
Stack sizes are getting a little bigger here as the game is progressing.
And you want to count.
No, I'm still thinking about that Queen 10 hand. It's so beautiful. Right. I love this game so much. I love this game so much. It's so great. So sick. It is so sick.
And like that's what he said, Dalton, he's a sicko.
He is. That's what I said. I said at the beginning of the broadcast, he's a sicko. In a good way, he's a sicko.
I called you with queen high, bro.
He's trusting his read.
He out queen high'd him.
Not a whole lot of action here.
I think they're gonna chop up the blinds.
I think they're talking about a possible chop. They are. On to the next one.
So if you guys like what you see and you like watching people call down Queen 10, check call Queen High, click the heart button, throw us a follow. We'll let you know when we go live Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 to 10, Sundays as well. This Wednesday coming up is our 1025 No Limit. Big names, big money on the list. Ought to be a good one. Another reminder is this upcoming Tuesday and Thursday we have our Chip In for Charity event. It's a $75 buy-in tournament for 10,000 starting stack, and I believe for every $5 donation you will get an extra $1,000 or 1,000 tournament chips. up to $25 max, so an extra 5,000
Oh, that's great.
chips.
So yeah, once again, Tuesday, December 6th at 6:30, and Thursday, December 8th at 6:30. $75 buy-ins. 100% of all donations will be given to the Lilliput families.
Chipping for charity, we love it. So here Dalton makes it 11 to go with the Jack 9 of spades. Action Dan calls with better Jack 10, and Joker is found to call with the Ace 7. 9-3 deuce,
And
rainbow.
Dalton snap checks top pair here. And Action Dan looks like he's thinking about, says hee-haw, thinking about putting out a little bet. Nope, he checks.
Checks a Joker.
And Joker decides to fire here. Looks like he's betting what looks to be close to pot here. Nope. 2/3 pot, 23 into 37.
And we got an easy call for Dalton.
Dalton calls.
And Dan is not done yet.
Dan is never done yet.
He's got a 3 straight. How do you fold?
Oh, is he gonna check raise here? I'm smelling it. I'm smelling the check raise. Oh, one time. This would make this hand so interesting. Do it. Do it. Do it, Dan. You know you want to. Nope. 5 of clubs on the turn gives Joker a gutter ball straight draw. Dalton checks again. Is Joker going to fire? That is the question. Your opponent raised pre-flop, check calls flop, he decides against it. Looking for an ace or a 4. 6 of clubs puts a 4 card straight out there, backdoor flush. Dalton checks, and here we go. Yes, yes! Joker's firing. He's thinking about it. He's sensing the weakness from Dalton. He bets.
It's not enough.
Doesn't look like it's going to be enough, but at the same time, you're not really liking the river, but Dalton has put himself in the spot, so. It's a little trickling in your head, though. I'm on the live stream. I don't want to make a bad call, but he's kind of set the situation up. He set the situation up. He check called the flop. He induced the bluff. Nice play by Dalton. I think with that action there, you have to complete the call. With that line, with everything. If you've hit a gutter ball for me somehow, congratulations. Nice hand, Dalton.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you know, we have a record of it. My rate, 25 right now. You only got 8.
Look at Duke. He looks like way too chill there. He's just all like laid back, playing poker, watching the show.
He needs a cigar. He needs a cigar right about now.
He agrees.
There's cameras located all over.
The Terrible Streams would never invite Dalton to his game. Come on, man, you gotta embrace it. You guys calling down Queen High. How do you not invite him every game?
And as we see here, the table is livening up a little bit on the table talk. A lot of laughter going around the table, and as the stigma goes, the liver the game, the more table talk, the more everyone's conversing and laughing, and
The better the game is.
the better the game is. And this game's getting out of the muck here. We've seen some awesome hands here in the last few rounds, and
So here we go.
people are starting to loosen up.
Action
Oh, here
Dan
we
now
go.
has a real hand.
Action Dan opens to 28.
I need the sound on that.
I believe was there a straddle or was that just
He just opened up to
big
28.
open?
Hoping his table image will pay off from here.
And here's, if I'm DL, I already made my mind. I'm check calling 3 streets. I have a pair of 10s.
Okay, with the definition of
Oh, and Action Dan's just absolutely loving this. Middle set, praying his opponent has a king. Bets the flop.
He might also have like 7-5 here though.
And unfortunately for
Or
him,
like-
he might be getting...
I don't know. I might just give Dan 3 streets of value with a pair. I don't mind giving it Dan though. He's a good guy, you know. SD Sherm.
Question here says, isn't this the lowest stakes game at a casino? Stones here offers a 1-2 $200 game, a 1-3
Only capped game.
Yes, the 1-2 is the only capped game here, 100 big blind game, and then the 1-3, as we said earlier in the broadcast, is a $500 max to start, table maximum as the game gets going, and same with the 2-5, $1,000 maximum, and table stakes as the game progresses. These games can get really big.
I mean, this game hasn't gotten, too out of control yet, but we talked about it on the stream before. The 1-3 here does play really big.
It does. It really does.
It can get
there's
off the chain really fast.
There's been many times where I've seen $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 stacks all around the table.
Yeah.
In these 1-3 games, everyone's max buying, and
1-3.
game gets huge. I think I remember one night actually with 2 $8,000 stacks on the 1-3 game.
Yeah.
Meet another guy.
Yeah.
And these games can get huge sometimes, which creates lots of creative stuff. It's awesome.
And here you see it. Action Dan makes 21 to go with the King Deuce. Joker makes a call with King Jack. And Dalton says, I just want to play pots, bro. Dalton defends the straddle with a 5-3.
4 ways to the flop. Jack, 9, ace. Diamond flops an open-ender. Joker flops middle pair. Top kicker. Checked around, free turn. Dalton picks up a gutter ball for a straight. Dan decides to bet 15 here with bottom pair. Joker calls with King Jack, feeling that his hand is good at this point, as it is. Now Diamond here, definitely not folding his hand, with an opportunity to bink the nuts on the river with a king or an 8. Offsuit spade would be the nuts. He calls. And now, does Dalton want to peel for the 4? Of course he does. Who doesn't right here?
It's like 8-1 when we're never folding.
And the river's a 9. Nobody likes that river. And this hand might just be get checked out here. Oh, Diamond, bet one time. Bet one time! Do it!
Bombs.
Oh, I see the, is he looking, is he gonna do it? Oh, please, yes. Do it. 48 is the bet is announced.
And that size.
And will Joker sniff this out? It's been, everyone checks the flop. Pre-flop raiser bets the turn small. Call, call, call.
We're beating busted spades and queen 10.
You just got rivered by a 9. Your opponent could easily have checked back an ace on the flop and called the turn.
Would Diamond have overcalled with just a pair of 9s? Would a hand like 9, 10, would he have overcalled the turn? I don't think so. It's harder for him, I mean, a 9 river does, but it's hard to put in, it's hard for him to have a 9, right? I mean, because he overcalled. Wow, he lets it go.
Wow, he got through. Nice play by Diamond, sensing the weakness. Power of position wins the hand. I like it. I like it.
Oh, wait, it's my live. Just make it live.
So it's Monday, I think we got 5-5 coming, if I'm not mistaken. 5-5 on Monday. 5-5 plays really well. He said everything plays table stakes. And depending on the lineup, that game can get off the chain. And they actually, in the 5-5 plays, they're pretty good. The 5-10 now, of course, going to be a lineup that can get kind of snug. But the 5-5 generally plays really, really well.
Hey, that is not right. Bulldog's at the table, it's his sister.
Damn.
I'll be going out there.
Action Dan, always equipped with lots of jokes up his sleeve. Firing out some jokes, getting this game in a very talkative mood. Lots of laughter, lots of banter going around right now. It's good to see. Everyone's having a good time. My man, good to see you, dude.
Action Dan does have the straddle on here. Diamond is going to limp 6 with a Jack 7 of hearts. Duke, King 9 in the cutoff. He lets it go. DL going to call with a suited king.
Oh, Action Dan. I was going to say, come on! Looking down at 7 deuce in the straddle, how can you not? Shame on you, Dan. Shame on you for checking that 7 deuce.
Five
Expect
way.
so much more from you. Jack Queen deuce, 2 clubs.
Dan's
Nobody,
got a pair.
nobody in love with that flop.
Dan's got a whole pair.
Excuse me. Diamond with middle pair. Checks around to him. Second last to act. Bets what is the best hand. 15 into 30, half pot. Action 10 says no. I have other plans. I have plans of rivering you or turning you with the 7 deuce.
Just wants to break someone hard.
Turn is a 5. Action Dan checks. Now will Diamond bet or check back here?
Dan might also be thinking about bluffing a club. If a club comes off, a 10, king, there's a lot of cards that might come off that Dan might, try to pounce on. Club, 1 time. Let the man do it. 10. Dan checks. Check.
And Diamond ships the pot. Thank you, Aubrey. Appreciate it. Some wizardry going on. I like it.
Card 786 is no small value bet on the river with a Jack 7.
Yeah, I honestly, I was expecting
Diamond to value bet.
I was expecting a big bluff at some point in the hand. With
Some
Dan
point,
with the
Dan
7 deuce.
would pull the trigger.
I thought he was gonna do it. I really did. I was expecting it the whole time. I'm actually shocked. I'm shocked. I'm not surprised. I'm shocked that he didn't, make a move there.
Yeah, the hard part about the 10 is, even though it improves Dan's range of that he can check call Queen Jack Deuce on, it also improves Diamond's range that he can.
It's a scary
value
river,
bet,
absolutely,
Queen
absolutely.
Jack Deuce on.
Absolutely. Yeah, it would have been interesting if it was a 3 or a 4 on the river.
Yeah.
If Action Dan would have
Pull the trigger.
fired away there.
So as it is, Dalton makes it 26 to go. Action Dan in some blind versus blind play. Action Dan outflops Dalton. Oh no, I'm sorry. Check that. Dalton
outflops Action Dan.
Yeah.
Flop goes check.
And if I'm Dalton here, I'm still looking to check call.
Dalton is.
We can get value from a 3, which, mind you, if Dan had a 3, he would call.
And Dan snap calls with the ace-10 high.
Wow. Jesus.
Oh!
And get there. Check, it out.
And Dalton is disgusted with the result of this hand. Action Dan. Action Dan, a little dance. I don't know what that is right there. Scoop it in, big fella.
I love
Scoop it in.
I love it. It's sick to think that I'm like on the turn. I said if I'm Dalton, I'm probably just, checking there still, trying to reduce bluffs. Because you really can only get a value from a 3. Or no, you can just get value from ATC Dan. Just like
Possible. Absolutely.
And Dalton loves it. Dalton's having a great time. Just lost the pot. He could not be happier. Dan skilled that 10 out. I love it.
Yeah, Dalton's always fun to play poker with. He's cash games. He makes the game fun. He's a good guy.
He missed the perfect comeback.
So Bulldog's gonna try to limp in the 4-3 of clubs here.
Continuing the.
Die is gonna make it. Looks like 13 to go with the Ace Jack.
And Duke also with Ace Jack and C2 folds. Very tight there. Wow.
Geez. I just don't know how much I'm folding in this game. Mike W folded 8-6 of hearts.
No, come on. This is
It just happened. Action Dan King 7 of hearts. Joker 10-4 of hearts.
Here we go. A few people mixing it up here. 4 ways to the flop. 48 in the middle. 4-6 queen. Joker flops bottom pair. Bulldog also flops bottom pair.
Die, who was original aggressor, 4-way action.
And he is firing away. 21 is the bet. A little less than half pot. Putting both bottom pairs here in a difficult situation with the better hands.
Bulldog's got backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. I'd rather see him raise than call. But then again, I encourage aggression, so...
He decides to call and turn the
Two
3
pair.
of spades, 2 pair, which figures to be good against a pre-flop raised C-bet. He checks out of position, and die checks. River, king of spades, 4 spades on river. Bulldog hates it, out of position.
Bet, by God.
Is die going to go for it?
Not no pair, but we bet. We bet.
Ah, do it. Fire! He's going for it. He senses the weakness. And now Bulldog. In that spot where you feel like you got rivered. Can he call? No, he cannot. Die. Taking it down. Ace high. Whee! Very nice play by Die. Love it.
Look at it. Steve Young was horrible when he did that.
Such a great card for Die to bet. Renee in Portugal. Always doing well.
And another upcoming event here. What's that?
Veronica, she's just causing problems in the chat.
Another upcoming event here on Sunday, December 4th at 10 a.m. The Western Senior Poker Series Championship will be held here at Stone's Gambling Hall at 10 in the morning. It's a $295 buy-in, 12,000 starting chips, 40-minute levels, and a cruise on the 2017 Card Player Poker Cruise will be awarded to the champion, ages 50 plus, qualify for championship points. Nice little tournament for seniors coming up. Mark your calendars out there for you 50 and older gents and madams.
Poker UK, welcome to the stream. This is 1-3 No Limit Hold'em. The 1-3 here at Stones plays pretty well. This game's kind of up and down. It's all over the board, honestly, right now. Dan's up, but Dalton's still down.
What is going on?
I don't think any of them know. Jeez. All my friends in the chat.
Now, I was just wondering about that. Do you have to be 50 plus playing this?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, never mind. I didn't say that. Never mind.
Action Dan's multi-tabling. Oh, yeah.
Action here on
Chewbacca,
Diamond.
this is 1-3, no more Hold'em. We do stream 5-5, 5-10, and this Wednesday is our 10 1/4, 10-25 no more Hold'em. Some very big names, very big stacks, expect to be in play. It's going to be a good one. Hit the heart button, we'll notify you when we go live. It's going to be good. Diamond makes it 12 to go with the ace-6 of clubs. DL makes a call with pocket deuces. Mike, pocket eights, he's in there as well. Bulldog takes a Hawaiian vacation, the queen jack off. Makes a call. Did Die fold 8-5 hearts being laid $1 million to 1?
Wow.
Jesus.
So we're going 4 ways to the flop here. 4 Jack 3, Bulldog flops top pair. Diamond flops the nut flush draw. And
Pile some chips in, come on.
looks like Bulldog is going to lead out with top pair. Diamond flat calls with 1 over in the flush draw, nut flush draw. 8s gets out of the way. We're going heads up to the turn. The 4 of clubs, hi-ya! Bulldog turns. He's got some outs. He's drawing to a jack or a 4. Turn goes check, check. Oh! 4 ball. Diamond checked back the turn to get trappy, and
wow,
he
Bulldog
hates that river. Wow. Wow. I did not see that. Wow. I would never have guessed that would go check, 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 check.
No, right?
That
2
turn
streets
and,
of like that turn, that river. It never will. Like the one thing you can count on is never gonna go check, check twice, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, Diamond could have easily got some value there. I can't imagine that Bulldog's just going to check fold there, a top pair, queen flush, queen eye flush draw. But,
Yeah, Diamond can definitely get value on the turn, and Bulldog's got to lead the river.
But nonetheless,
Because it's going to check back like every time.
yeah. But Diamond scoops the small pot.
I am alive.
No, you're not. You're dead. Live it.
Still lots of table talk going on. My man Scott pitching the cards right now. Super professional dealer. One of the best.
Dalton. Let's play pots. Makes it 11, looks like. Yep, 11 with the queen jack off.
Queen jack off.
Action Dan. His fold button's broken. I said he folds.
Can you imagine going to
Never predict an action again. Bulldog with a 4 deuce and the button makes a call. Die with the 6s, he's in there. And Diamond's gonna lay at a pretty good price here to call with Jack 9. Come on, brother, get in there, Jack 9. Let's see a flop. There we go.
Oh, I thought those were red chips. That's all. Makes the call. And we are 4 ways to the flop. 8-4-3. 6s is in the lead. Gotta like that flop if you're pocket 6s. You are out of position though, so he checks.
Not a lot there to rep for Dalton. He's gonna check it.
And Bulldog here, thinking he probably has the best hand, second pair. Bets 45 into 44, a pot, excuse me, 35.
And he gets the best hand to fold. He gets die to fold the 6s.
Wow. Power of aggression, power of position. And the hand's done. Jokingly, put chips out there.
And the Academy Award for Best Actor goes to Bulldog for his role in 4 days. As he lines up the chips in like 4 heaps. As we're checking, you know,
Robert De Niro name guy.
Babyface ATL says when a guy calls raise with all $1 chips, he's got to be super strong. Good poker player in 2017 makes a good point there. Die with the 6s. He's got a lot of players behind him still, namely Dan and Dalton, who are the 2 most creative and most aggressive players at the table. So even though we think that 8-4 was an 8-4-3 should miss the most of the time, those players don't give up oftentimes, and that an 8 high board is well within the range, especially Dan. Dan loves playing those little messy cards.
Yeah, and I mean when you're facing a pot-sized bet, out of position, you're putting yourself in a tough spot. It's a tough spot.
Being the first one, it'd be different if Dan and Dalton had, Dan and Dalton folded in front of him. Then I think we can call there with 6s one time maybe, or if we're in position on Bulldog, but out of position, check folding 6 is probably fine. Dalton makes it 11 to go, ace queen. Action Dan makes a call with 2 shinies or probably not so shiny cards. Who knows? Joker, king jack of hearts, he's in there as well. Bulldog, queen 9. Ugh. But poker, why not? I said about the 4 deuce and it worked.
Duke in the big blind, ace of hearts. Trying to decide whether to defend, does not.
He's going all in with one card.
And we're going 4 ways to the flop with a mystery hand. Action Dan.
I want to be there at that moment. I don't want to be the dealer. If I would have realized it before I said it, I would probably bet 9 over 30.
Flop is queen 3-5. Dalton flops top pair, top kicker. Checks it. And Bulldog with what he thinks is the best hand here with queen 9 bets 35. Dalton setting the trap here. check calls. Joker looking at his backdoor royal flush draw, gets out of the way. Heads up to the turn. King of clubs, really one of the only cards that are in the deck that's going to slow down the action really heavily.
There
here.
should be an easy check back for Bulldog, right?
And there's the check back.
There we go.
Dalton's got to feel pretty good about his hand right here with the action.
And he's leading the River Dark.
He's leading the River Dark for, what is that, 35? And Dalton says it's a call. It's a call. Egging him on to make this call. I love the dark bet on the river. I love it. I love it. You figure he knows he has the best hand.
If a spade were to come off, Bulldog could think about turning his hand into a bluff. He should be beat here every time. Because Dalton's never leading that small dark on the river with a spade draw. Right?
No, that's correct. It's all correct.
I think we should find a fold here, Bulldog. I don't think Dalton has many bluffs. And I don't think he's making a blocking bet with, like, jacks on this board, the way this hand played out. I think he's got a hand like jacks. I think he's looking for it to go check. I don't think we're gonna, block bet dark. So it'd be a really, really weird play to do. Bulldog doesn't want to fold though.
I think he just said, I'm gonna pay you off. He says, do you have a king? Dalton says, no, I don't. I don't have a king. I want you to call with a worse queen. He says, nice hand. And Dalton scoops the pot.
Reno Grinder in the chat. Welcome, Mr. Adam Bishop. Beating up those games over in the state next door. Mike, you got fans. You got fans. I wonder, as your fandom increase, or we would anticipate it would, with your recent published success.
I want to marry my locker. I love it.
He's a good guy, though, so, I mean. You need a long car in your garage?
Wow, we're getting
a long car.
We're getting after it now. We're getting after it. Hilarious. Whoever you are hilarious.
What? Why?
I would have allowed that comment to stand. I have no problem with it.
Right?
It's funny. I like it. I mean, it sounded really bad if you saw the comment, actually, but I like the joke.
So go Bulldog trying to limp in again.
Jake feels left at home.
Number 11.
I want to marry Jake. I mean, for people that aren't looking at the chat right now, that might sound like a weird comment, but
that's my thigh, Mike. Thank you, though. I appreciate the.
I'm gonna keep my hands above the screen.
Wow. The live stream deal just went nuts.
I don't know what is going on, but
they won the rack attack. So we'll have.
Oh, that's what's going on here. Okay. They won the rack attack.
We've been here before.
So dirty.
There you go. Delayed, right? Time delayed. Feels better. 60 seconds away.
So I believe it's a $7 straddle. Let's go all the way around. Oh, did Dan open for 7?
I'm not quite sure.
+2. He had to open, right? As it is, we got 6-way action. King, 7 deuce, 2 spades. No one's got a king. Die's got a pair of 7s. And I believe it's going to check through. 4 of clubs comes off on the turn. Doesn't hit anyone. Unless someone decides to just take a stab at it. Cue Bulldog. There's $61 in the pot. That's 40.
And this should get through. I don't really see too many hands getting stubborn here. Oh, that would have been so beautiful. I thought he was going to do it.
So the hand that might check call the turn that we might not be able to get rid of is a hand like 5-6, but Bulldog's blocking a 6. So it's an extra good dry bluff, I guess, if we want to like look for good hands to dry bluff. We're blocking the draws that might get sticky.
And it's been interesting. Bulldog's he's been betting, you know, a lot of pot-sized bets with good hands and bad hands throughout the game. So you really don't know what he's doing right now. And he's had a lot of hands that have had no showdown. So
the house is just, like I said, the stream game just won the rack attack. So the house has added $100 to this pot. I know typically the 1-3 they'll play one hand of limit hold'em on the live stream. I'm not sure if it stays no limit or not. I know we've done it both ways. Where it's played limit for one hand with the rack attack, but I've also seen where it just stayed no limit. We saw Mike Postle just rip an entire, you know, for $700 like dry free just to pick up the loose change.
Yeah, hopefully this is no limit hand here.
I think it's one hand 4-8 limit, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm wrong, I'm never wrong. So this will be one hand of 4-8 limit. There's $100 in the pot, and so we do not fold anything free. We see most turns regardless anyway.
Yeah, this is definitely a tempting spot here to go to the flop with ATC with any two cards. $100 in the middle.
9-way action.
And we have a family pot. Everyone wants a piece of that $100 in the middle. That dead 100. 6-9-5, super action flop. Joker flops middle pair gutter ball. Dalton flops bottom pair and a weak flush draw. Die has what is he doesn't know is the best flush draw.
Duke has an inside straight flush draw.
And
who now turns the best flush. No, check that. Die
has the best flush.
Die has the best flush.
And
everyone's spade checking.
Die is almost undoubtedly, hate to give the spoiler alert that he's going to win this hand in a limit game with so much in the middle. Duke bets, I believe. Die calls. Oh wow, Mike W just decided to rep a spade there with top pair.
He had $8 too much in his stack. It's one of those like feng shui kind of things.
Yes.
Like that. It's kind of thrown off his vibe. Just got to get rid of this money. He did turn a king, and this is limit hold'em, and he did have $8 too much. 8 of diamonds on the turn changes nothing. We know Die's the best hand.
And wow, Mike's spinning again.
Wow, so sick. Joker is just calling down with a pair of 6s. Says I am not folding with that much money in the pot.
And Die scoops. Looks like what was a $181 pot?
$181 pot. Jack 10 off.
Nice.
And we love it.
A little giftage from Stone's Gambling Hall. A little hundo ball added to Die's stack there.
It is fun. The house does that, periodic, rack attacks at whatever time of day. I should know the schedule, but I don't. But Sundays, it's a great day to grind cash here because they do rack attacks for every touchdown. They pick a game in the morning, a game in the afternoon, and then in the evening game, and they try to find the games with the highest, line on it. And every touchdown in the house puts money in the pot.
Oh wow, I did not know this at all. I didn't know any of that.
Well, it's because you don't wake up till 3 o'clock.
That's true. That's true. That's a fact.
What time was breakfast today, Mike?
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Yes.
The life of a grinder.
Yes.
Just get up, wake up at 2, breakfast at 3,
That's right.
poker all night,
That's right.
go home, kick the cat, start the day all over again.
That's perfect. I love it. I've always been a night owl. Even when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, even before the poker days really started, I've always been a night owl. So poker was a good fit to continue that. And I like to party just a little bit, so it's a good schedule.
A little bit.
I am doing it though. 1 year no alcohol as of November 17th.
I saw that.
I'm doing it. I've had a million people ask me like, oh, what? Do you have like $50,000 in prop bets or something? And I actually have $0 prop bets.
No side action.
$0 right now.
But you're trying to pick up the side action, right?
Of course. Of course.
Okay.
Someone bet me $1 million. Like, come on. What's going on?
Oh my god.
But no, the real reason is I got some really lofty goals here for the next 12 months in poker, and I
love it.
I want to be laser
Be
focused.
totally focused.
I want to be focused.
I love that.
I want to be focused right now.
Yeah. And that said, we're all going out for drinks afterwards, so if anyone wants to help Mike not reach his goals. Hey, So it's an $8 straddle. Yeah, Dan's got the straddle on. Joker limps in for 8 with a 10-8 off. Bulldog does not open up the pot with the ace-jack.
And Dalton's going to peek down at a nice little ace-king offsuit in the big blind with a bunch of
And we need
$8 bets out there.
$1 million to go.
And he is going to
Bombs.
make it 40, 60. Oh, he's making a big raise here. Which looks a little weakish almost. We're going $60 here.
Doesn't it?
Right?
Doesn't it? That's what I'm saying.
$8 all around. You make it 60.
72.
$72.
Bombs.
64 more.
Now, if you're Bulldog, do you think to yourself, well, he has no idea how strong I am here. He's clearly weak. Because why would he, bomb the pot like this? And I'm gonna show you what's up and re-bluff here.
This is one of those, tough spots.
Let's go.
And, honestly, my advice when I'm giving people advice when it comes to strategy is when you don't know what to do, usually the best option is to fold. I mean...
And by fold, he means shove.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Those are synonyms in poker. I'm gonna tell you, if I'm there with one, I would never limp the ace jack. Let's say for some weird reason, $8 fell out of my stack and I limped. And then I'm blocking the very tip top of Dalton's range. I mean, I only have an ace, but I block all the, a lot of the ace X hands. When it's that size in there, I think he's got to polarize himself. So he's either like trying to make it look like a bluff or he's bluffing.
Oh. Mike's getting hit with threes, and he's going to be flipping, much to Dalton's dismay.
And they're going to do it again. These guys got it in once before. I probably would have gotten a little bit silly there with the ace jack.
And no, you can totally see that. Oh, window 3.
Oh, and the king.
Window 3. Oh, he's not dead. He's not dead. Oh, my God. Jesus. Such a dirty run out.
Oh my God!
How do you lose when the window is the 3? That is how. The runner, perfect. 5 on turn, giving Dalton the king and 5 outs, bink the 5. It's all in pre-flop. It's just a sick run out, but still, sick run out. Big
Live
flip.
poker's rigged.
I'd rather the flop just come king than lose that way. It's just so dirty. This game's so dirty.
Live poker's rigged.
Oh, okay. Oh, sick run out.
But it's hands like that I point to, like when people try to complain about online poker, and it's like no, like you're just seeing it like so you see so many more hands, you're gonna see more of it. Yeah, and that's just it. So
and
it happens just as sick, just as gross, if not worse live.
No, that's 100% true. I think that the number one reason that people think online poker is rigged is because of selective memory.
Yeah,
I don't think
we always remember the hands we lose. We're so quick to forget the times that we got lucky.
I can't think of any game, any sport, any competition where selective memory can fool you.
Yeah,
as in poker.
Dictate your overall perception of the game as a whole.
You're seeing 5, 10, however many times more hands per hour. So you're seeing 5 or 10 times more bad beats.
Mm-hmm.
And just as we all know, we all remember the bad beats and don't remember so much the big ones, and that's that.
We always remember the hands we lose.
Back to the action here. Looks like DL's popping it up to $15 pre-flop with king queen suited. Dalton calls from the button with queen 10 offsuit.
Action Dan's in hand as well. We can't see what he's got.
Action Dan's got the mystery hand.
4-way mess.
And DL flops the nut flush draw.
Baby base ATL, when you rip 50 bigs with 3s in a pre-flop and a cash game, you ain't money anyways. It's got a point.
Baby face ATL. That's good.
way through. So I read a pretty good book. They're talking about just that psychological dynamic, where they said, and a psychologist estimated that the psychological impact of a loss is up to 2.5 times greater than the impact felt of any kind of gain. So you lose $100 and you're distraught. You find $100 and you're like, oh, cool. And it's very, very, casual, nonchalant. Or even then, if you lose $100 and then find the same $100, you still overall have a negative feeling still that you still kind of sit in your stomach over what almost might have happened, kind of thing. We're masochists. We love the pain. That's why we play poker.
We love the pain.
We need to have the hurt. If we didn't, we wouldn't come back.
It's true.
Ace, king, 3 in the window. My poker is rigged.
That's always so dirty when you get those super sick runouts. Carpet pulled from underneath your feet. Looks like Diamond here in seat 1 has had enough. Mike W in seat 4 there with the pocket 3, as you guys just saw. Looks like ended his night. Might be coming back to the table, not sure.
Bulldog checks his option. Did Joker complete?
Joker's limp trapping here with the 6-8 offsuit, hoping his opponent was raising so he could limp raise with the nuts pre-flop. I actually did. I'll never forget one time in a tournament. I think I made like a 9 big blind shove in late position with 6-8 suited, ran to aces. He flips up the nut. He goes nuts. I'm like, sorry, bro. I have the one hand that beats you. 6-8. River 2 pair, obviously. Can't lose. I have the nuts pre-flop. Like, duh.
Hey, Rosin 360. What's going on?
Joker rivers the straight.
What a mess.
Got a new player here coming into the game in seat 1. Current chip counts. Dalton on top with 803. It's been a fun game. It's
unique to say the least. I mean, some really interesting lines, some really weird stuff going on.
I'm very, very pleased from where we started off with the night, with extreme tightness going on, and then molding into a pretty good game here. It's been a fun night so far.
Maybe the booze starting to set in a little bit.
Action on Duke here in seat 2. Makes the fold around Dalton, who lays it down. Action Dan, staying true to form, raises up. A stiff raise on the cutoff. Looks like about $16 or $21.
I love the chat. Action Dan's got the 8 deuce. Gotta love it. Three-way action. Ace, King, Jack. Bulldog, pair of jacks inside straight draw. Joker's got a pair of aces. He leads out. Action Dan. There's no love.
Put a diamond on the turn one time. Oh.
Hey, Dan folded.
Oh, okay, Dan folded.
8 of spades. Joker makes a sloppy bet.
And
it's called by Bulldog. He's somehow not done yet.
River goes check, check. Joker flips up the top pair, wins the pot. A decent little sized pot there for just top pair, no kicker.
Right?
Whatever you win, you get to keep it.
That's a deal.
Yeah, you guys are the starting lineup got $10 on your card.
Why, I don't?
There's our tournament director here, Justin Caratis.
Puts together some great stuff for us here at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Yes, Justin's the man.
One of the things that I really love about Stones and Justin in particular that they do here is they genuinely do listen to the feedback from the players. Players say we want this, we want that, we prefer that, over this. They change structures, change buying price points. They make an absolute mess out of it, and they're willing to try a lot of things, which a lot of rooms are not willing to do. But here at Stones, Justin running the show, you know, they'll give it a run. You know, we're spreading. They're playing PLO tournaments now once a month. They also have a 08 once a month. I'm trying to get them to spread stud, but well, I'm just the only old guy in the room evidently. You play any 4-card poker lately? PLO, anything like that?
I played a little bit of, and mind you, I say a little bit of 510 PLO and some private games down in Palm Springs about a month or so ago, and definitely was swinging a little bit. Definitely was swinging a little bit.
Action Dan's got the best hand with his pair of kings. TL's got no part of it.
Yeah, I actually saw a little 5-5 PLO pop off here the other night, a couple nights ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a good game.
It's good. Ant Doom, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us here tonight. You guys are making it entertaining for us. We appreciate the love.
Deep fried boot, I love it. Lots of names. Lee Johnson. Limp takes queen off and folds the squeeze. It's a different game tonight, man. It's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of weird plays, a lot of unorthodox stuff going on. It's made it interesting.
I guarantee it's gonna get right now.
Raised to 11 from
Bulldog.
Raised to 11 from action down, 9-4 offsuit. Bulldog 3-bets to 30.
Duke.
And is Action Dan gonna get a little creative here?
He makes
Calls
a
the
call.
19. He said something along the lines of, do you
Watch
see
this.
Yeah, watch this. Ace, 9-4. Bulldog flops a huge flop. Top pair, 10 high flush draw. Great flop for a 3-bet hand here. He bets $40, and Dan decides, no, I'm not going to be a maniac here and get crazy here. And luckily for him, he did not.
Someone on the dark side just died. It
Yeah,
sounded like.
I heard
You that?
heard a scream.
You know how NFL players like quarterback pissed off later after
The Desert Fox. Welcome in. Mafia Murloc. You know, this is not the biggest game. They got 2-5 going on, I believe, right now. We stream 5-5, 5-10. This Monday will be 5-5. And Wednesday we'll be streaming 10-25. 10.25. Some big names on the list. Click the heart button. We'll notify you when we go live. That game ought to be a mess. I got an insider, a little sneak peek at the lineup, and that's going to be a good one. Straddle is still alive. Action Dan makes it 26 to go with the ace-6 off. Bulldog, I'm going to call with pocket threes. Dalton, 10-7 off. Says yes. 4-way to the flop. 105 in the pot. Queen, Jack, 3. Bottom set for Bulldog.
Unfortunately for him, there's not a whole lot going on. DL with a gutter ball, backdoor flush draw.
It's about the only hand that really can continue here, it would seem. Mind you, it is Action Dan. Let's check to Bulldog. And Bulldog's got to think, okay, there's flush draws, there's straight draws. Someone's coming along with me, right? He makes a pot-sized bet.
That's gonna do it.
And that's all she wrote.
Action Dan's gonna move all in, hit runner, runner, diamond.
There's a little thought inside Action Dan's head right now that says, why would he bet that big? He's got to have a draw, right? Which means ace high is ahead. Which means I'm going to be a hero. That little thought right now is in Dan's mind. For his sake, let's hope he ignores that thought. He does. Gets away from the hand. What do you think about Bulldog size in there? Queen Jack 3, 2 diamonds, you flop bottom set, 4-way action, it's a 4-way pot. Leading with a, or it's checked to you. What do you think about a size in there?
I'd really like to see, you know, closer to half pot.
Yeah.
Especially with the action being so weak and checking to you. But I understand what he was thinking. He was thinking, you know, straight draw, flush draw.
Someone's gonna.
Don't want to get bad beat on this hand. Someone's gonna have to pay to bad beat me. Totally understand the thought process he was going through right there. But yeah, I would really like to see about a half
pot size.
Half pot, right around anywhere between 40 and 60%.
Yeah. Give someone the opportunity to make a mistake. If I'm not mistaken here, Joker opened effectively under the gun. Oh no, it's Action Dan straddles for 10. Joker calls 10, Jack with Jack 10. Already I'm saying that twice. Bulldog, he makes a call with deuces, see if he can't flop another set. Dalton in the big blind. He's just gonna call. I got a feeling if Dalton's on the button with that hand, he actually might think about, you know, abusing these guys a little bit. Action Dan's gonna check his option. We got 4-way to the flop. Ace 6-6. We've seen that before. 2 spades. Bulldog has the only pair. Yeah.
The last ace 6 was also 2 spades. Yeah, no one really with anything here.
Four double pairs counterfeiting Bulldog. And Joker and Action Dan now have the best of it. But Dalton, he's going to lead out for 22. And it should work.
The worst hand wins. Nice takedown by Dalton there, sensing the weakness.
Now there's a seat open there, but I'm just kind of wondering, is the players on the list just, you know, rolling, waiting, they don't want to sit, you know, in front of Dalton and Dan, you know? I mean, of all the seats, I mean, mind you, you're talking about how you were dying to jump in this game, but if there's a worse seat at the table, it's seat 4 right now. You'd have Dalton would have position on you and Dan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right to Dalton's right there is definitely the...
Joker's got to be loving life. I mean, he's got position on both of them.
Joker's got the best seat, and yeah, C4 is the worst seat at the table right now.
If I were to sit down, I would be playing, you know, probably unentertainingly nitty, and just waiting for, you know, someone to, you know, change seats. That or just be check calling down the world. Which is probably the latter. I don't know.
Yeah, that definitely, it's definitely not fun having Dalton to your left.
Mafia Murloc, tune in this Wednesday. You got 1025, no cap. The last 1025 played a 2550, and there was live hundreds as well.
Wow.
Oh, that was a big game.
Wow, I need to watch that.
Yeah, JC Tran was in that game.
I heard. I actually didn't. I saw clips of that.
Yeah, that was a big game.
Clips of that.
Yeah. Don't know if this one will play 2550. I mean, I'm assuming they'll probably have some live $50 straddles, live $100 straddles. But the last one was a mandatory 50 with an optional 100. A live, live double straddle.
Big game.
So Dan makes it 25 to go. Queen 8 of clubs. Bulldogs another pocket pair.
Dan shoves all in with top pair. He's gonna get 2 folds. Damn.
I got my green chip. I got my green chip. And now you got disease on your forehead. Can I help you, please?
Dan's good for the game. Guy just loves life. So I know you're heading out of town.
Yes.
We just got you back,
Yes.
and you're leaving us again already.
I'm only be gone, I think, about a week. I mean,
You said that last time.
I did say that last time.
You came back from LA, and you're like, guys, I'm back, and then we didn't see Mike again for months.
I definitely have learned to not, my friends know me well enough now to know that when I say
Don't
one
worry,
thing, it doesn't mean anything. So, but yeah, I plan on going down to play the World Series of Poker circuit this weekend at the bike, and
Good.
hopefully,
It's gonna be really good.
Hopefully, ship another bird.
Love it.
So, I think I've only played one WSOP circuit in my life, and that was the main at Tahoe about 5 years ago. So,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Only one. Wow.
That's it. That's the only one I've played. So I'm excited for a chance at a ring and get down to LA.
Hardware's cool. I mean,
Yes.
money comes and goes, but
Yes.
hardware.
That would be pretty. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool to win a ring.
So DL makes it 16 to go with the King 10. Bulldog and Joker both call Action Dan. He's in the pot as well. Jack, Deuce, Deuce.
And with these hands, obviously there's so many flops that would possibly create a ton of action here with all 4 of these flops being very close to one another, but unfortunately no one flops anything. DL decides to take a stab here with King 10 and looks like it's going to get through, and once again we see the power of aggression take down a hand.
It's hard for anyone to continue on this board without a jack. If we ever get 4s, 5s, 6s, and you have to hold, it's plus ED for us.
Oh, I wish you could have that on camera.
We just got flashed.
Oh my goodness. Ladies, come join us here. Come join us. Don't be shy. Come on. Join us for just 5 seconds. Say hello to the fans. Come on. Dang. Oh, you guys are missing out on a good show right here. Outside the booth.
How do we run so good in life?
I don't know.
Come hither, Heather.
Come hither. There is some booty shaking going on in the house when Mr. James Flannery is around.
Back to poker,
Yes, back to poker.
reluctantly. DL's limping the Queen 5 off and a
has- I
hijack.
think I heard this is the last hand, if I heard correctly.
Action Dan makes it 17 to go on the button.
Another
He might not
mystery
have looked
hand.
at his cards.
Another mystery hand from Action Dan.
Where are you from?
A lot of table talk going on here between
I know you got 2 no looks. I know.
between Bulldog and Joker and Action Dan, who all have played with each other a time or two here at Stones.
So I think DL, he just wants to be involved in the last pot here, last hand of the night. 4-way to the flop. 8, 4, 3, 2 clubs. Inside straight draw for Joker. Backdoor club draw.
I'd have to bet on Action Dan's hand here. Seeing the other guy's cards and him being the pre-flop raiser and him being Action Dan.
Right.
1 + 1 + 1. Oh, there it is.
And there it is.
Top pair.
Action Dan. Crushing.
That's an Action Dan flop. Bets 20.
I'm not folding if I'm Joker. Wow.
Joker
Bulldog's
calls
gonna
with the gutter ball.
overcall.
Bulldog overcalls, floating with the backdoor flush, 2 overs, King Jack of spades. To the turn we go.
Hell no. If I steal some, here's where the green to go.
Ace of diamonds. All three players not liking the ace. A lot of talk going on here. All three players check. River pairs the board, changing nothing.
That wasn't what I was meant to say.
And
Bulldog reaching for chips.
Oh yes, I love it. I love it. Senses the weakness. And he bets $80. And Action Dan put into a tough spot now with the best hand.
I think I call. And I think I call confidently.
Just thinking about it here. This is a tough spot. Oh!
There it is.
Wow, nice call by Dan. He's Joker's saying, "Can I shove?" And Dan scoops the last pot of the night.
We love it.
He's loving it.
And we love it. Oh yeah.
Well,
So I think that was our last hand, guys. Weird things happening in poker.
Yes.
At times. I mean, a lot of it's really hard to science. There are times I find for myself when I'm in these games, sometimes I don't know what to do just because like you can't narrow someone's hand down because like you get caught projecting your thinking onto them like, well, they would do this or they wouldn't do that. And when I find myself in those games, the best thing I think I can do is just play ABC poker, which can get really boring, really dry sometimes.
Of course.
But it's just kind of like the best thing you can do when you can't make sense of the way the other players are playing.
yeah, and yeah, this I couldn't be happier with how this game went. You know, in the beginning there, a lot of tight play to say the least, and really, Action Dan is the MVP tonight. I mean, he's the MVP. He got this game going. The Queen 10 versus Queen 8 was an awesome hand. I won't forget.
God, how does he call it? It's so sick.
There was a lot of great hands here at the end. So it was a fun night. This was a great game.
It was a lot of fun. Mike, we love having you back. Good luck in LA, and get your ass back here sooner.
Yes, thanks a lot.
For those
It's
of
been
you
great
who click the
being
heart button, we'll notify you when you go live. 5/5 on Monday, and the big 10/25 biggest game in Northern California coming up on Wednesday. There are big names on the list. Do not miss it. That's our show, guys. Good night.
See you guys next Monday. Good night.
She's going crazy, the only way she's ever known. I can't explain it, the way she gets into